Hey, hey. All right, let's get this show on the road. Episode 100 of the Cosmic Conversations podcast. I'm super excited for a ton of reasons. One of them being today we have a cool, extra special co host. I'll introduce him in a minute. Secondly, we've been doing this giveaway thing, trying to get that organized and make sure that you guys have an opportunity to win some really cool stuff, such as a leisure carry belt, some cleaning kits, bunch of other stuff. Got a next belt. I just got off the phone with Jeremy from X Tech Tactical. He has some magazines for you guys. We've got quite a few things that we want to make sure you guys get. I don't get anything out of it. I just want to make sure you guys get some cool stuff. And also, what else are we doing? What else are we doing? Oh, yeah, we got a few special guests coming in. But without further ado, let's roll the intro for the 100th episode of the Caustic Conversations podcast. All right, cool. We did it. Tony, you're here. What's up, dude?
Hey, what's going on, man? Congratulations on 100 episodes. That's a milestone. Most people don't make it there. Heck, I'm not even there yet.
Stop. No, for those of you who don't know Tony, I'm not sure why you don't know Tony. He's, I guess, the creator, founder, guy who runs the Second is for Everything podcast, 2A4E. And I want to say thank you for being here. Thank you for those kind words. Most people only make it, what, 7 episodes, I think is the standard podcast like rule. So the fact that we made it as far as we have, yeah, that's big. That's big to me. So I'm happy. But I'm glad you could be here for this episode to kind of help us get through some of the fun stuff. And thank you everybody who's in the live chat. Just can you guys let me know where you guys are from, what you guys are doing here? I see a few of you talking. I see Drill Index. Drill Index is part of the giveaway, so hopefully he can call in and at the time that we designated and actually help announce the winner. But Tony, can you really quick just let people know where you're from, just in case they're wondering? Hold on, let me make sure I give you
All
the
right.
screen.
Yeah. I'm Tony Simon. I'm from something called the Second is for Everyone Diversity Shoot, which I host in New Jersey. I started in 2015. Excuse me. I started it hosting in New Jersey. I've spread outside of New Jersey to Pennsylvania. I've even been as far as Nebraska, where I met one of the guys in the chat, DJ Play Nice. I'm a Second Amendment advocate, activist, and I started this to introduce all people into the Second Amendment, get them to shoot guns for the very first time or get them to shoot guns again, get them to visit ranges. They participate in my event, eat pizza, have fun, win prizes, and shoot guns, and then learn about the Second Amendment organizations in their local area. Because I think it's very important for people to go from gun owner to advocate immediately because we need all people, regardless of race, gender, religion, whatever way they try to divide us. That's what I do. I started the Second is for Everyone podcast to cut through some of the BS that you find in YouTube, in firearms related podcasts where people were just working to get a free gun or to get hook up with a company and never say anything bad about them. Some people, I'm also a firearms instructor. I'm also a range safety instructor, defensive firearms instructor. I'm on a few different podcasts as a defensive firearms instructor. So with the Second is for Everyone podcast, I try to cut through some of the BS with defensive gun use, what we need to use. I just want to invite people into the Second Amendment community and firearms community the right way without getting bad information. And whenever I see somebody else in this sphere, I try to encourage them and get word out about them because I have no competition. I'm not worried about gatekeeping anybody as long as they're giving out good information. We need their voice heard. So that's why I came on this podcast initially and I try to promote the work you do because it's very, very important. People who see everyone as competition, I think you're limiting yourself you're limiting your reach, and you're really wasting your time. I'm trying to promote everybody because a raising tide raises all ships, or incoming tide, or whatever you call it, raises all ships. And I think that's important for all of us to do is to help each other out. I can't be. Hey, Joe Rogan's not upset. He has other people from other podcasts on. How about me, who has a fraction of those numbers? What? I'm going to compete against someone now and try to gatekeep? You got to be out of your mind.
Dude. It's funny that you bring that up because I guess if we want to stay true to the title and address some of the drama, that's something that I personally had to fight against. And no, I'm not mad at anybody. I'm not calling anybody out, but that's just, the breaks when you're a creator early on, trying to figure stuff out. You, you reach out to certain people and maybe you reach out once or twice or three times and they're just like, I'm in the middle of stuff. And you're like, okay, so when are you not busy? And truthfully, they just don't want to do it. They have better things to do, or they don't necessarily see the value in what you do. So what's the answer for that? To that, at least for somebody like me, the answer for me was to just put my nose to the grindstone, keep working, don't stop, don't quit, even when it got hard, even if I needed to take a break, right? Because I've taken a few breaks, so I think we all have, but we're not quitting, right? And I mean, even just with what you do, I think that's a beautiful thing because it's like, hey, like you could have quit this a long time ago.
12 years now. Um, I tell people, give yourself a break, bro. There is
Yeah.
no reason for you to wear yourself down to a nub if mentally you're not there. Take a break. You don't have to quit, but just step back a minute, gather, do what you need to do.
Hmm.
Whatever that is, whatever reason made you take a break or consider taking a break, fix that. Come back, get at it.
That's right. That's right. So, guys, do want to say special thank you to everyone who sent in messages. I'm gonna play some of them. Like, if you win, I'm gonna play your audio. So, I know I didn't like say that earlier. I just want to let you know. And if you have a big problem with that and you're in the live chat, let me know. I don't think I'm going to use anybody's name. I'll use like a code name just in case somebody's like embarrassed and they're like, oh, I don't like the sound of my voice. I'll use a special code name just for them. But here's what we want to talk about first. I want to address something interesting, right? So when we talk about some of the gatekeeping in the space, um, this is a little bit of, I guess, drama and or tea, right? And that's not what this show is, but let's talk about some of the important things when it comes to the Second Amendment space. Um, Lucas Botkin, aka TREX Arms, he's somehow one of the greats and one of the great annoyances in the space. Um, as in phenomenal shooter, great company, is doing a lot of cool things, has introduced a lot of people into shooting and shooting better, shooting gooder, shooting faster. But I guess in the last few years, he's kind of changed the way he does certain things. Um, and I don't know if he really changed or if he decided to be a little bit more bold in his proclamations of what he hates. And instead of necessarily propping up what he loves, really just tearing down certain things, calling certain night vision companies gay, which I'm like, what does that even mean? And the most recent thing is how did, how did he say? He said, he made a whole podcast. I don't know if you saw, Tony, the podcast where he was
The
like,
marketing podcast
the
about
marketing
what
podcast.
Second Amendment advocates should be, how they should be seen, and how they should market, and how they
How did you
should
perceive that whole
create
thing? I
content.
don't know if you got to see the whole thing, but how did you take, I guess, the
Yeah.
news of it?
All right. I watched the whole thing. Um, Wait, excuse me. No, 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 no. Did I watch it? No, I watched somebody else's breakdown of it, the 2A guys or whatever the name is. I don't know. It was the
Hmm.
first time I ever
Oh,
saw
you're
that.
talking about the Procast?
Yeah, that might have been it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, two-way Procast. That was a good
So
show.
I'm listening to their entire podcast because I find their reels entertaining. So I'm like, let me see. And this was the very first podcast I've ever seen of theirs. I'd never seen anyone, and they're talking about this guy, T-Rex Arms. And I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, cool, because I've watched some of his stuff, and a lot of his crap is a bunch of gatekeeping. It is a bunch of gatekeeping crap. And I'm like, okay, well, there's a bunch of people that really want to see high end guns run and whatever. I don't get really deeply into it. I stay on the periphery. I don't watch everything Lucas Botkin does. Now, again, I've been in the Second Amendment advocacy 12 years, which is not a long time when we have the guy like Adam Gottlieb, who's been running Second Amendment Foundation since like 1970. So, fine. I came in this, I'm doing the work, and I've watched YouTubers not even want to be involved because they were afraid they would lose subscribers. Then I watched the change happen pretty much in the years where Pete Brownells became president or worked at being president of the NRA. He brought in a lot of YouTubers and they ended up getting paid by being Second Amendment advocates. Some of them stayed in that genre. Lucas Botkins came shortly, not long ago, into the Second Amendment sphere. So I was like, all right, cool. He brings a lot of people in. And then I'm listening to what he's saying about gays and this and that. Shut up. Just shut up. Okay. When you're welcoming people in, the Second Amendment is under attack in this country. It's not going to be won by straight white dudes. All right. They pretty much just called you racist and Nazis and zeroed you out. You're going to have to put women in the forefront. You're going to have to put minority women in the forefront of this fight. You're going to have to ally with the LGBT community in this fight. Every religion you're going to have to ally with because we're being attacked on every front from social media. We're being attacked by the left and the right. Stop acting as if somehow the Republicans are on the rah rah Second Amendment team because they are not. We're going to need everyone, and we can't have somebody going around going, "You're gay, and I don't want you, and you shouldn't have this, and you shouldn't have that." Well, that's cool if that's your personal opinion, but if you have a platform that you speak to millions of people or hundreds of thousands, or however many followers he has, you doing that and shutting them down gives the other side cause to go, "See, told you you're a bunch of racist redneck Nazis." But also, it's not only the other side, it's people that look like me, people that look like you, who are stepping into the arena for the first time. And what if they are in the community or one of the people that Bodkins does not like? Understand that we're fighting uphill to get people in and not stereotypical gun owners because they've been told to fear who's at the gun shop, fear who's at the range, because the
Mm-hmm.
people at the range, the people that own guns, all hate you because you're not like them. And here's a 30-something-year-old white male running around talking about who he don't like, and it's a whole bunch of people that aren't like him.
Right. I think it's
Congratulations, sir.
extra egregious because he has such a, a grand platform and he's done a really great job of the stuff that he's really good at. So it's almost like I forget which debate fallacy this is, but because he's done really well in some areas, we think he's an expert in all areas. Kind of like Neil deGrasse Tyson talking about God and religion. Uh, I like be an astrophysicist, bro, or when he talks politics, I'm like, yeah, you have a great mind, but that doesn't necessarily mean you fully understand you're not a political animal per se, right? Not to say you can't talk it, but make sure that you kind of preface that, and people who are listening should understand who you are and what you're actually good at.
And that's what I have to say about him. He just didn't. You can have your own opinion, but when you have an audience that big and people assign you people assume you're a subject matter expert on all things firearms and Second Amendment related,
Right.
and that's not true whatsoever. And again, gatekeeping and saying dumb stuff, I don't care if that's your personal opinion. But once you get out there in that audience, you're just not doing people any favors. So you can
Yeah.
have that opinion. I'm not saying shut him down. I'm not saying cancel this guy. I'm saying he's incorrect. He's not helping. Create your content. You create your content. Why are you trying to make enemies? I don't know if he's doing it for views, for controversy. I'm not at that point, and I hopefully will never be at that point that I'm trying to cause controversy for controversy's sake. I think it's
Not for
ridiculous.
controversy's sake. Like that's doing too
I
much.
don't know.
Now,
I
Now, I
don't know
mean,
what he's doing. It's just not
I don't
smart.
know either. I don't love it. Obviously, he can keep doing that, but I don't think it's good for what we're trying to do. If the goal, because here's the question: like when people ask me, like, so like I'm looking for a gun, or I'm my buddy, excuse me, walked up to me on Sunday, was like, hey, I'm thinking about buying an AR. What do you think about this one? And the question was, what do you want this thing for? You know, are you literally gonna go shoot pigs once a year? You know, then maybe the $400 AR isn't going to kill you, you know, or maybe it will, who knows. But if you are putting 10,000 rounds down range, you know, over some period of time, maybe you want something a little bit better, you know, and maybe this $400 AR is what you need to get into the space and to actually start training and then decide like, hey, I want a better trigger, or this furniture kind of sucks. And ooh, can I get, and then ooh, maybe I want this optic, or I'm seeing these other guys doing really cool, and you know, catch the bug, catch the fever a little bit, you know. And so relating that to TREX Arms and Lucas Botkin, if your goal is to only arm a specific minority or majority group of people, you're a very specific niche of gun owners, you know, guys who are just like you in every way. Well, then you're doing a great job. But if you wanna reach everybody, you gotta you know, open up a little bit and realize that I'm not saying you have to necessarily agree with everybody's lifestyle, because I sure don't. But going out of our way to be rude to people isn't going to accomplish the goal that I want to accomplish, which is to reach people with this stuff.
Exactly. And again, not saying cancel the dude, not saying shut him down. I'm saying he's not helping. With he's not helping with people who are looking, who have gone against their families, who have gone against their friends, who have gone against the society, the circle of people they live with and work with, to be a firearms owner. And then to have one of the bigger voices in the YouTube firearms community pretty much poop all over various people. It's not cool, doesn't help. Do you, but you're just not that dude that I'm going to recommend people watch, that are coming into the space because of what you say and do. Am I going to tell people never to watch you? No, I'm just not going to recommend it. Or I'll recommend it with a one of those parental warnings. Listen, the guy has an issue with the LGBT community. Not only has an issue, he just doesn't want them to be armed. That's his thing. I don't agree with it whatsoever, and it is what it is.
You know, I thought it was fascinating, and it came to my mind again today, where there's a group of people out there where if you're not politically aligned with them, like if you're left, or if you're kind of at all involved in like the socialist side of the gun culture, which I'm not a big, you know, socialist guy, but at all actually. In fact, I'm lean more right. Just to clarify to everybody, I'm not a socialist. I'm not a member of the Socialist Rifle Association. Um,
Hmm.
but Um, I'm gonna answer some of these questions popping up in the chat in just a second. But the idea that we shouldn't train with people or train people who could potentially be on the other side of some sort of civil war, like that conversation's popped up. And it's like, hey, if you're like a leftist, I'm not training with you. I'm not training you. I'm not going to encourage you to get good guns. In fact, I'm going to tell you the worst guns to get, because if it comes down to it, I don't want you to be the guy to kill me. And then there was the, you know, assassination attempt on Trump, and I was like, oh shoot, were they right? Oh shoot. And then my mind started spinning, and then more news came out. It's like, well, this guy was actually just pretty much just a school shooter, more or less, more or less.
What uh, the attempted the assassin that had whatever, bro. There were so many failures involved in this entire thing, and to watch the director of the Secret Service refuse to answer questions in front of the Congress was great. I'm like, I hope they lock you up, lady. I mean, she couldn't even answer how many times they denied assistance to the Trump administrations. I'm like, yeah, all you had to do is come up with a number. I saw that statement, and fine, that's his thing. That's kind of not what he said that time in that interview on the thing I saw, the part I saw about. Yeah, he's a Christian company. I'm a Christian too. I guess we look at Christianity different. Um, but that's fine. That's him. Let him go ahead and say his thing. Let him do his thing. Let him be public about his thing. He is just not someone I would recommend to someone coming in new because it goes against bringing people in to fight for this right. And it's
Yeah,
not just turning off the LGBT community, it's turning off the allies of those, it's turning off certain entire age groups that really don't want to deal with that. There's a whole younger generation coming up that's not anti-LGBTQ.
yeah. Well, speaking of younger generation, there is a new generation of content creators. Strap House Customs, one of the guys who supported the show from the beginning. I know you know him. Probably met him at Train and Learn, if I'm not mistaken. Said how
Yeah,
important
little
is it for new? Just
thin guy, thin guy, small, not intimidating at
stop,
all.
stop.
No facial hair, nothing,
Listen,
bald head.
listen. I'm not fighting him. I'm not. I'm not fighting that guy. But he said, how important is it for newer small channels or content creators to go to large industry events? I mean, even considering what we just said about like, hey, there are people like Lucas who, if you don't fit everything, or check all of his boxes, is he going to want to work with you? So, I mean, that even that in mind, is it productive for smaller creators, less than 1,000 subs, less than 1,000 followers, maybe a couple thousand, to go to these events and try to connect with these brands and companies? Or is it just like, okay, I'm going to get a business card, I'm going to email, I'm never going to get a reply?
It's very important. It's very important. Not only do you go to the events, that you network with others that are there, not just the big companies. So you talk to the other guy who has 2,000 subs. You talk to another guy that has 1,000. You talk to someone that has five. It's not even a sub number. It's just meeting people and networking because you never know when it comes up again. It's talking to people like people. We were at Training Learn. That's where I met Fridge at, or Strap House. That's where I met him and his wife, and it was really cool. And we met a lot of like-minded people. And this was last year, and then he came back this year. But if he noticed, there was a drop off. Some people that he met last year didn't talk to anybody since last year, and others he talked to a lot, and you created a relationship. Keep doing that. That is very important, regardless of who you are. And if you end up with this Lucas Bodkin and you don't fall in alignment with his beliefs, then don't work with him. Work with someone else. Work with someone smaller. He is not the only game in town. And you don't really necessarily have to mess with that guy if you don't agree with what he does. If you hook up and you see the liberal gun club there and they don't align with you, you don't have to work with them. I've worked with a lot of different people. Some people that don't get along with each other, but they understand my overall mission of bringing all people together to fight for this right. Cool, I'll work with them. If you don't want to work with me, all right, cool, bye. And companies, I don't care where you're along that cost structure, from High Point, who I've worked with for years, on up the scale to Affinity Arms with Rob Pincus, Henry Repeating Arms. I've worked with them. They've donated various firearms to me, to local gun shops and FFLs I've worked with. So it never stops. It's all about networking and growing your brand and
Mm.
growing your content and growing your reach.
No, that's absolutely correct. I've personally, I don't think I'd be as far along in this space as I am. Not to say I've made it, because I've not made it by any stretch of the imagination. Although I've gotten to a point where I've gotten discounts on things that I definitely needed a discount on, or I wasn't going to be able to get that. I've gotten a free gun from companies like TTI Canic, and we'll talk about them in a second, because there's always some drama. There's always some drama. Um, and I've been able to not just show up one time, but show up continuously over the years. Because it's easy to be written off if you show up and you're just like, hey, I'm a new guy. I make content. I have 800 subscribers on a platform, and can we do something together? Can we partner? Can you send me a product? That's cool, but can you show up twice? Are you going to be here next year? Are you going to be invited to that exclusive event? Is somebody going to vouch for you? And I'm not saying like you it's all about stuff, because that's not actually what's important. But if you want to create relationships with these brands, especially the ones that maybe you feel like are off limits, because there's some brands that I'm just like, I don't know if I'm ever going to work with them, because they're like the Nike of the gun space. You know what I mean? Um, but I just went to GunCon, right? And I remember last year I was at GunCon, and John Patton, the Gun Collective, one of the vets in this space, reached out, put his arm around me, and said, "Dude," and actually pointed to one of the vendors, big time gun company. You'd know him if we called, and he said, "This guy's hungry. Like, you got to work with this guy." So really quick, we're gonna take a pause for just a second, and we're gonna introduce one of the supporters of this show, somebody who actually sent an item out for the giveaway. And here we go. Let's see if we can bring them on. Let's see how this goes. And we're gonna put you on the side.
We're gonna.
Hey, Ron.
Hey,
All
how's it
right,
going?
sweet. We got you on. We can hear you. Everybody, can everybody hear everybody?
Yeah, I can hear him.
Dude,
Yeah,
welcome to the show, Costly Conversations podcast, the 100th episode. Thank you so much for sending this out, and making sure that we have plenty of leisure carries to give away to people who, obviously have put in a little bit of work to try to get one. There's a couple people who DM me personally. It's like, hey man, how can I get one of those? And I was like, you got to enter the giveaway. But I wanted to give you a second to just kind of share about the heart and the intention, the thought process that went into the leisure carry. I'm just going to open the box real quick and give myself the screen if y'all don't mind. And this is the leisure carry. Got it with the good lighting. So, and Ron, if you could just do me a favor, I'm going to give you the screen. Can you share why you thought this was important to create, and that you invested so much time and energy into this product?
yeah, sure. So, I I'm from up north, but I moved down to Georgia a few years ago, and I'm still not even used to the heat. It's just ridiculous. Um, and I have been trying to, or at the time, I was trying to figure out all these different ways to get away with carrying uh, without having to wear a full belt all the way around myself. Just because one, it's obviously less comfortable, and two, it's way way hotter than not wearing a belt. So I had a nice holster with some like DCC clips that I was just clipping inside my like drawstring gym shorts. And I remember one day I was taking my dog out to my in-laws' house, and I had just finished building a Glock 19 with a ton of like custom parts, and I was all pumped about it because it had like the Trigicon on it. And I was getting her out of the car, and she did something weird with her foot, and she caught like the front of my waistband, and it pulled my gun completely out, and it totally inverted the holster from being inside my waistband and flung it out onto the concrete. And nothing was broken, but I was like, and it was a private place, so it wasn't like it was in a parking lot somewhere. But I was like, even with like the best clips that you can use on this thing, like there's nothing keeping this in there. The teeth of the clips didn't have anything to bite onto. So that was when I started playing with like different ideas for figuring out how to like accomplish actually safely carrying inside gym shorts.
Yeah.
And over a bunch of trial and error, I ended up deciding that it needed to be something that a normal holster could clip onto, and then it needed to have something that would have like excess friction holding onto the waistband. So that's how the ulti clips came into the situation.
Yeah,
um, and that's kind of the origin of it. I just wanted it for myself, and then my friends wanted it, and then their friends wanted it, and then I made a website for it, and then
nice. That's
here we are.
interesting. You just made it for yourself, and then people were like, "Hey, this is really good. Can I get one?" Were they
Yeah.
all like this, or was this kind of a refined design, or what the heck?
So it ended up being that, obviously, but I started out with just a piece of leather, um, like off of a belt that I had chopped up, and like that worked fine, but like it's just nowhere near as stiff as the stuff that I'm using now.
Yeah.
I
What is that
actually
material now?
It's called biothane, and I found that material because uh, my wife came home one day with a collar for our dog, and I was stuck because I didn't like the leather, and I didn't like the type of webbing that they use on like normal gun belts for it, because it just didn't look good for the application. So like I figured nobody'd ever buy this if it looks like this.
Hmm.
So she came home one day with that belt, or with the collar for the dog, and I was like, what the heck is this stuff? This is awesome. And then I found out they made a bunch of different kinds, and then I actually reached out about doing some customizing of my own for it, and that's how we ended up with the bio thing. But it was funny because I was kind of stuck because I definitely couldn't make it out of leather,
Hmm.
and I didn't want to make it out of the other material. And then the right material just kind of fell into my lap.
Yeah. Well, the crazy thing is, um, when I first saw this, and I guess it's not that crazy, I thought it was leather. I was like, oh, look at that. It's kind of like some of the other stuff that we see on the market, because right as you hit the market, there was a few other brands going into the market with, different options and different styles and different things like that. And I was like, but it's leather. And that's just so much. Some of the other materials are just a lot stiffer and a lot more painful or uncomfortable.
Yeah,
And so I'm like, oh, that works. And even though it's not actually a leather, it's still very, very comfortable and very, very usable. And it gives me the option to clip anything, any like holster that I have that clips, whether, it could be a knife holster, it could be, a regular gun holster. If it clips, it'll go. And that's awesome. So, dude, thank you so much for putting your heart and soul into that product. We talked about it one time. You like had one of the rooms in your house just full of the product, trying to get it shipped and stuff. And I don't know if I'm sharing your business, but people need to know, like, you're a real human being
no,
working
yeah,
on this product, and like there's something cool. There's something to be said about a guy who is putting everything he has into this kind of thing to make sure the gun industry is being pushed forward.
yeah. There's a lot of other stuff on the market. There wasn't really anything for actually going beltless at the
Yeah.
time.
Hmm.
Um, there's a bunch of things that replicate belts where you don't have to use them with like belt loops, but that didn't really solve my specific problem.
Right.
So that's how I came to this solution.
Sorry, I had a question pop up here, and I think it's for you. What are some of the challenges you've met and solved, and what are some of the challenges that you're facing now? I guess if it's not for you, I'm going to ask you, in creating this, and this is the last question before we pick a winner. Um, Creating this, did you run into any challenges outside of, well, let's find a new material, um, that it can't be leather?
Yeah, early on it was the big thing was that I wanted it to be made in the States.
Hmm.
So I was having a really hard time finding suppliers for the I think it's called double layered nylon is
Hmm.
the other, like it was going to be like the next best thing, but I couldn't find any reliable suppliers for it in the States, and I didn't want to make it out of something that I had to like import from another country.
Yeah,
uh, so that was probably the thing that took me the longest, because I was researching all these different materials, and I didn't want something that was too stiff, and I didn't want something that was too soft where it would just be floppy all the time. Uh,
definitely.
and
And that
we
that
came to
begs the
this material,
question,
and
right?
uh,
Because this is
I
not
worked.
floppy at all. It's it's pretty rigid, but it's not so
Yeah.
stiff that it's painful, and it does a good job of keeping the ulti clips off of you because they're metal clips, and that could be kind of frustrating if it rubs your skin.
Yeah. And I actually, um, I have, I don't know if I should say it, but I'll say it anyways. So one of the other things that had come up was people were mentioning that the clips were rubbing them, and like I was racking my brain to understand how the clips were like rubbing them and poking them, and uh, and it's not everybody. It's some people. It's normally the people that use it the hardest and the longest
Mm-hmm.
that have had this issue. Um, and so I decided I was like, I'm just gonna go like because I couldn't replicate it for myself because it didn't bother me. It didn't hurt me. So I was like, I'm just gonna go commando and see if I can just get those hot spots.
I respect
Like if
I
I can
respect
feel,
the
that'll be the
R&D.
worst it feels.
I respect the R&D.
So I figured out that it was actually backwards. They're complaining that the clips were bothering, but it's actually the underside that was like bothering them.
Huh.
So I have a new product that's not going to be available for probably another month. Um, I got one right here.
Yeah,
I
let me get
wasn't going
this
to
for
make
you.
any announcements, but since the question was asked, so I have these pads that are getting made that's gone with Velcro, and you can kind of position it however you want onto the back so that whatever shape you're built in, you can get rid of whatever hotspots you might be having. Um, and it makes it so comfortable that, to be totally honest, I go commando all the time with it, just like that.
Hey, you know what?
That might be TMI. Well,
Listen, he trusts that product that much. That's faith. So, Costa Conversations exclusive announcement. New products coming soon for the leisure carry. Something to kind of spice things up a little bit, help you to go commando a little bit more comfortably. My mom's watching this, so come on, bro. And all right, dude. So let's go ahead and get this giveaway going. Let me spin the wheel and let's see who wins. And Manny, looks like we got Manny. He won this leisure carry. Congratulations, Manny. I'm gonna send you an email when this is done. And let's see if we can't play your submission.
Hey, bud. I haven't really
Oh, that's a
gotten
little low.
to
Can y'all hear that?
listen to a lot of the podcasts.
We can hear it.
Oh.
Hey, bud. Uh, I haven't really gotten to listen to a lot of the podcasts that you have there. The ones I have listened to are awesome. I'm halfway through with the latest one, 99, with the girl in the wheelchair. I think that's real cool. I have a friend who has Ellis Danlos, and he wants to finish a build for himself, but unfortunately, he needs something that is like kind of zero recoil, because he does have pain when he shoots. But anyways, it's real cool that you touch on all these subjects and all these different people.
All right. Thank you, Manny, for your submission. Thank you for sharing what you think about the show. And I'm glad that these guests that we have on, such as Michaela Elizabeth, the young lady from the previous episode, episode 99, who is wheelchair bound but is out here competing at SIG and doing all sorts of cool stuff. Go ahead and give her a follow. Check out that episode. And Manny, you're going to get one of these in the mail. I'm going to send you an email or send you a DM because I think we were DMing the other day. And congratulations, dude. All right. Ron, thanks for coming on. I got to kick you off now, okay?
absolutely.
I
Thanks for having
appreciate
me
you
on.
being here, man. All right, guys. Y'all go ahead and give Leisure Carry a follow on Instagram. Make sure you're sending them ideas or whatever. If you guys have anything that you guys need done with Alicia Carey, and I'm sure he'll R&D it. Maybe he'll even go commando for you. So thanks, man. Peace, brother.
See ya.
Dude, stop laughing. Dude, that was awesome. I can appreciate a man who is maybe a little bit too transparent.
Nice.
No, that was awesome. So here we go. Let's make. I just got a DM. I had a question come up from gun websites. Have you done work with gun websites before?
Yeah, every now and again, like every Saturday, we do a show together called a Q&A, gun Q&A, with gun websites.
You said every now and again. Yeah, every Saturday we do a show. Are you
Yeah,
kidding me?
almost every Saturday we do a show together. Yes, we do a podcast together.
I can't stand
Sometimes
you.
it's between 1 and 3 hours long.
I can't stand you. Listen, I don't know if I've ever had a conversation with you that was under an hour.
You asked me the last time, "Do you work, bro?" Because every time I call you, you answer the phone. You called me
I'm a
at
bit.
work. It was hilarious. I just got back in the office when the phone rang and I saw it was you and I picked up.
Well, I mean, I appreciate it, but that funny thing about me is this podcasting thing. This is what I do, like in real life. Like I'm gonna call you. We're gonna chop it up for like 30 minutes, an hour, at least, maybe 2 hours if we, if we're feeling froggy, and that's just kind of the vibe. So, anyways, gun websites was like define made it because we talked about. He was like, hey, when you make it or whatever, and it's like I don't think I've made it yet, just because I have on Armed Atlas, a couple thousand subscribers, and here we're doing okay, not great, but like Define made it. Tony, to you, what does it mean to make it in the gun space? And I know it's not going to be some material thing because you're so much deeper than that.
No, I'm not that deep at all. It's money, baby. It's money.
He said it's
Um,
money.
it depends on what your overall mission is. Mine wasn't money, and it wasn't popularity. It was opening people up to something. It was being that guy that opened the door up. So to me, making it may be different than what making it is to someone else. To be able to open doors and introduce people to others is making it to me. Um, right now, I'm going to be speaking at the GOA convention, Gold Convention.
Mm,
I'm going to be speaking there, and I'm going to be on two panels. One's a veterans panel, and the other one's diversity, inclusion, how to grow the community kind of thing. And that to me is making it because people want to hear what we're doing, how we can do it, and how they can do it. So to
impact.
me, I think that's important.
Yeah.
But making it to other people also because it is expensive to do some stuff. So there is a financial element to it if you're spending it. But I'm not going to do this and go, hey, I want to be a multimillionaire and own a bunch of businesses based on this.
Yeah.
But if I am, it's however you define success. But I
Mm,
think I've made it in a way, and I just want to get better at this, refine this, become the 501(c)(3) that I seem to continually shy away from.
I
That's
told you
the
I was going
things
to
that I
roast you
want to do
about
and
that.
make it. Hey, listen, I don't even mind because I deserve it. I was supposed to do it in my mind this month, and I still haven't done it, but the month ain't over. But
Yeah.
everything is set up and ready to go, and that's to me making it fun. And there's levels to making it. I have different things I want to achieve, and then when I make it, I've made that. Now it's on to the next thing.
That's right.
And I don't think making it, the it, is concrete for most.
Yeah.
At
I mean,
least not for me.
consider this. Like, there's millionaires out there and billionaires out there who have so much money that if they sold half of what they had or like just gave it away to the poor and lived on that half, didn't even invest it again, just lived on what they had till the day they die, to the day their children die, they're good. And yet they still continuously work for something. They have some sort of idea, some sort of motivator, some sort of driving force within them that like that energizes them, that gets them excited to wake up in the morning. You know what I mean? And for me, I actually
Yep.
I had to have a hard conversation the other day because I was like, man, I'm just to be candid, some of the some of the financials for the show just haven't been right for a little while. And I was like, man, I gotta figure something out, or I'm not sure if it necessarily makes sense for me to keep going in this way, right? And somebody like chin checked me real hard, and they were like, "Stop being that way. Like, do you love it or do you not? Because if you love it, you're gonna do it regardless, right? And if it's about the money, like at that point, you should probably do something else. But like if you love it, let it kill you. They didn't say that, but people say that. Um, and obviously, you got to be wise. Like I'm not saying like, oh, if you like, smoking crack, you should smoke all the crack in the world. Like, no, don't do that. But for me, um, these conversations, like me and you here, Tony, and getting to meet guys like Ron from Leisure Carry. And in a few minutes, we're going to have the guy who created the Drill Index. And that's such a cool, it's like not even like a big thing, but it's such a cool device. And he's going to come on probably like 10 minutes. So, like, guys, stay tuned. About 10 minutes, we're going to do the giveaway for the Drill Index. Um, I just, what is making it? Let me answer the question from gun websites. What is making it? For me, I have short-term goals, I have long-term goals, but I told myself maybe like a year and a half ago, like I want to bring 100,000 people into the gun space. Like that's a weird arbitrary number. Like could have been 1,000. But Nina De La Flores, who I don't think she'll be on tonight, but she's going to be doing a lot of stuff with us going forward. Amazing. Um, is she still a young woman? I mean, she's pretty young, um, but
Young woman is a sliding scale the older you get.
right,
Just to let you know.
right. At some level, like if you call like an older lady like a young woman, you're trying to be charming, right? But she's like my age, so we're not to make it weird, right? But she's amazing, and she's trained 2,000 women how to shoot guns for real. You know what I mean? It's like 2,000 people. What? Hands on 2,000 people. You've taught 2,000 people how to shoot guns. That's incredible. And obviously, you've done something. I don't know if you counted. Like have t-
My guys count and they're like, dude, you've had thousands of people through here for the last 9 years
yeah,
alone. That doesn't count the classes I taught before that. So
right,
yeah, I mean, it's up there. I never bothered counting, but yes, it's in the thousands.
right.
Nina's a really nice lady. I met her at SHOT 2 years ago, maybe, SHOT Show, and of course I followed her, and we talk
Hmm.
just online every now and again. She comments on some of this. I comment on something, say something silly usually, and she LOLs me, or we've communicated otherwise. But
Yeah,
I encourage people to follow her, to find her, because she's looking at it from a different direction. She's
yeah,
how to carry when you dress like a young lady that dresses well.
hmm,
How to carry without printing. What you can carry. How to mitigate recoil. How to tear your gun down. How to shoot with nails. I mean, it's not only. I mean, because she can run a gun.
oh
She's a
yeah,
very accurate shooter.
oh
She's a
yeah,
very
no
good
question.
instructor. But there's just another side that I wouldn't be able to bring to the conversation that she can. And
Hmm.
why not? Watch her, even as a guy, because ladies, females, you have women in your life that you can either direct to her, or if they're not into that kind of content, you can learn from her and help them get better from something you've learned from her. We don't necessarily have to just continually watch people who are like us.
Yeah,
If you're one of these people, the gun person in your social circle, learn some other stuff to maybe help other people out. And you never know what you pick up if you're just paying attention.
you never know. You never know. Now, I am going to invite Drill Index, the creator of Drill Index, to come on whenever he gets a chance. But while we're doing that, I just want to say thank you to everybody who's in the live chat. And thank you because we're going to upload this to the audio only podcast, guys. If you're on podcast, I know it's a little weird listening to something that was recorded live, but thank you for being here. You guys are amazing. And please keep an eye on things because we're going to be doing more giveaways and I want to make sure you guys are involved. So tune in on a regular basis and we'll make sure you're taken care of. Drill Index is in the house. Let's get busy with it. Let's go. What's up, brother?
Hey, I'm glad this is audio only. People don't need to see me.
Definitely audio only. um, bro, so glad you can come on the show and talk about your awesome product, the Drill Index. Let's see if I can get my lighting just right, dude.
Hey,
This one's not even open because it's going straight to the
hold on. I'm
limiter.
getting some. Are we still there?
Yeah,
Oh,
we're
shit.
still here, still here.
Okay. I had to close out the YouTube. Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. Yep, still here. So can we talk a little bit about? Let me boost your audio just a little bit. Can we talk a little bit about your product? Why did you create the Drill Index? What is the Drill Index? People are wondering what is it? What is it?
It's just a collection of drills and standards. Coming up, I've been shooting for a long time, and I say that because I haven't been training for a long time, and getting into this gun thing as I did. I'm I'm an old man. uh, But if I would have known what I know now back then, if I would have known that there's more to it than just going out in the woods and burning through ammunition, if I would have known that I could run some drills or I could practice, or actually, what am I trying to say? Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. No, but you were going on about how like you used to just go shoot, but now you're training, and this is
Mhm.
standards. Standards.
Yep. In that door opened for me, it was probably like 2018, 2019. And, I've had guns 20, 30 years. Like I said, I'm old. And, I got invited to a training class, and I told my friends, like, I'm not ready for this stuff. You guys are legit. And he's like, no, if you're ready for it, just come and do it.
Mhm.
And I did it, and I was just blown away. And the stuff that I was able to do, I surprised myself,
Mhm.
and the knowledge that I picked up in those classes, I wanted more. I was just hungry for it, and what I did was I just started writing down all these drills because my first class was a lead faucet tactical. Dan Brokos, dude's legit, he's amazing. And I wrote down a bunch of his drills, and I started running them at the range. And I was just like, I need more of these. And I was just feeding my notebook with all these drills. And one day I was like, I can't even read half of these anymore. So,
Mm.
and I just figured out a better way to print them, and I handed them out to a couple of friends, and they're just like, "You need to make these. More people need these."
Mm.
So then that was the inception of it. It was kind of
Okay.
like Ron from Leisure Carry. It was necessity for me was what invented it, and
Right.
it turns out there's more people like me out there. So
Yeah. Yeah. You find a hole, plug a hole. Like you found something in your life that you needed to have fixed because you wanted to go further in this space. And you're like, shoot, this is it. And then people are like, bro, you could sell this. So
yeah,
I know there's actually an instructor who sells like a limited edition version of your packet. I guess he like signs it, maybe throws one more drill in or something like that.
yeah, he signs his drill. It's Rick from Achilles Heel Tactical.
Yeah.
And that's a pretty interesting story. I don't know if you're familiar with him too much.
No, 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 no.
Uh, he, I'm out in Washington State, Southwest Washington. He's in Ohio, and a lot of these guys I had reached out to online, to kind of get their feel for it.
Yeah.
And I hadn't reached out to him because he's pretty big. And a friend of mine has a range close by to my house, and he sent me a message. He says, "Hey, Rick's at my range teaching a class. He wants to meet you." So I was like, "Shit, okay." So I ran over there, and the class got done, and I introduced myself, and really nice guy. And he goes, "Man, I saw this, and I was pissed." He goes, "I saw my drill on your cards," and I was like, "Oh shit, sorry." Uh,
You're good. You're
and
good.
I was like, I thought I stepped in it, and he goes, "But then I saw my website and my name and everything on there," and he goes, "Dude, that's legit." He goes, "Thank you." Blew me away, and that guy has been in my corner ever since.
That's
And
amazing. I love
and
that. I
like I
love
said,
the
yeah,
collaboration piece there where you did your best to honor and respect what he was doing. And in turn, he gave you the respect that you didn't know you deserved for the hard work that you put into this. And of course, I mean, we literally just had a guy in the comment section, Don Crypto the Elite, say he needs a drill index. I'm like, yeah, you do. Like everybody
yeah,
needs to know like how to go go faster, how to push harder at the range.
Yeah.
One of my
And
close friends.
measure their skill, you know.
What gets measured gets improved, and
Mm-hmm.
it's hard to know, especially if you don't have a shot timer and things like that, right? But it's hard to know, like,
Absolutely.
am I fast or am I just fast in my head? You know what I mean? Yeah, I was so much
Yeah.
faster today at the range. No, you weren't. You were
I'm
just as
faster
fast as you
without
were
the
last
timer.
week.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, everyone's silly fast, sub-second without a timer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But dude, let's if anybody has any questions for our guy, we can definitely did you say your name? I don't know if people know your
I'm
name.
Chris. Yeah, yeah.
Chris.
No, my name's
Yeah.
Chris. Yeah, I'm just a dude, and I try to keep myself off of the social media just because I don't want to make it about me. I want to. It's about giving people the tools they need to do better, and
Heck
I
yeah,
don't want to
man.
make it about me. And you know, that's my thing. I want people to have that resource that I didn't have.
Yeah.
Uh, just to go do it, man.
Definitely. So if anybody has a question for Chris about his process, please send it over. Kiwi Dog says shot timer equals beeper bully box.
Absolutely.
It's cruel and unusual. But dude, so I want to give one of these away to one of the guys who entered the giveaway. I want to give like 100 away for real, but that's not practical. So let's at least give one away, and we'll do that. But before we do that, Strap House Custom said learning drills to run was one of my biggest challenges as I started to train versus just wasting ammo. Just like you said, just like when I
Absolutely.
first started shooting, it's like, hey, we got all the shots on the paper. Great.
Mm.
Feels good. And then you see a group. Then you see what a group actually is. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, all right.
And ammo's cheap. Ammo's not cheap, man.
Well, not anymore. It used to be I could go to Walmart and buy 200 for like 30.
Yeah.
Mm,
Those are the days.
those are the days. All right. So Manny was our last winner. Let's go ahead and spin this wheel again and see who wins the drill index. Drum roll, please. AC Real. All right. Dude, congratulations, AC. You won yourself a drill index. You deserve it. If anyone deserves it, it's you. I'm gonna play your submission, and we'll go from here.
Hey, man. I've been following you for a few years on Instagram and Facebook, and somehow I missed most of these podcasts. I listened to one the other day, taking a shower, where you're talking about copyright law and gun manufacturing and stuff. Very interesting. For sure, I plan on picking up some of the back issues there when I got time for podcasting, but it's really great. I appreciate the content and always enjoy checking out your social. Thanks a lot.
All right. People are in the chat congratulating AC as he should be congratulated,
Yeah.
and
Gotcha.
definitely that episode that he referenced, episode 98 with our guy who runs X Tech Tactical aftermarket magazines for AK and some. Not, I guess he's doing some Glock mag soon.
I just picked up an M&P mag from them.
Heck yeah, bro. Heck yeah.
Yep.
I love to
Yep.
hear that. I love to
Mm-hmm.
hear that. Anyways, he'll be on the show. I think at in about 30 minutes. So if you guys want to see what he's giving away, make sure you tune in 30 minutes. And Chris, thank you so much for coming on the show. It's been really good seeing your face, of course, and thank you for giving away
I appreciate it.
this
And
drill index to AC. And hopefully you sell 1 billion of
enjoy
these
it.
because it's important.
Yeah, enjoy it. And I really appreciate the time.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations again, my man.
Congratulations, dude. And thank you for doing this. All right. See ya.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Take care.
Dude, Tony. We all need one of these.
So we have actually given away drill index on the Gun and Gear Review podcast.
Oh, heck
They
yeah.
provided them, and yeah, we gave them away. Drills are very important because yes, shooting the zombie on the paper is really cool.
It's always
Um,
fun.
it's fun. I'm not even trash shooting, shooting cans, all that stuff is fun. And if you're going to use a firearm, not even if you're going to use a firearm for self-defense, but it gives you new things to do that you can measure to see, oh, I am better at this. Oh, I can do this. I can work on transitions. I can work on reloads. I can work on malfunction drills. It all doesn't have to be loading up the 1022 and seeing how many times you can shoot a golf ball across the field, even though that's a pretty cool thing too. So I think it's great to have them all the exercises on a card deck, so you can just go through them, and don't just do your favorite ones that you feel you're good at. Do some of the ones that make you uncomfortable, because that's how you build a skill set. That's and just doing the things you want to over and over again doesn't help you build a skill set.
Hey,
So,
man. I've been
shoot,
following you for a few
accidentally
years
played that
on.
again. Let's clear that out. Anyways, dude, Drill Chris from Drill Index just fired in a comment, said I've been on 2 podcasts now and Tony has been on there every time, and the next podcast he'll be there, and the one after that, if he's not there, he was literally just there and you just missed him. I promise. Tony is addicted to podcasts. It's a problem. um, and you need to get him some help, but until then I'm going to continue to use him for all the podcasting things. So yeah, and then Gun website says I'm a big fan of the card decks. I'll check out Drill Index at Drill Index. Dude, check them out. There are some products in the world that you don't need a check to promote. You know what I mean? Like it's good. It makes sense. Why we're just gonna talk about it because it's good. You know what I mean? Like it's helpful to the overall cause. But you know what's interesting, and I want to segue to this is like not even a good segue. You sent me a DM earlier, right? And it
Hmm.
was this. I'm gonna see if I can't download it. I didn't download it earlier, but it was. Can you explain what you sent to me?
Wait a minute. The lady we're talking
Yeah,
about
yeah, yeah.
running for office?
Yeah, the lady running for office.
All right. I don't even know her name, so it'll be cool when you pull it down. She's running for office in the Midwest somewhere, uh, as the attorney general. And she is trying to be as controversial as possible. She's a very attractive from, I think she's from Venezuela, originally, but she's running for office here. And she is like Tulsi Gabbard and Donald Trump put together. And she is trying her best to appeal to MAGA people. If you play the video that she did, the one where she's jogging, she's like, Republicans are full of ammunition, stored food, and something else, and Democrats are full of gay stuff. And it's just gay and more gay stuff. And if you elect me, da 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 da. And it's funny clips, but I understand what she's doing. She's trying to be controversial. And then you throw her picture up, and she has all the airsoft gear, uh, and a vest that does hasn't been used, mags that look like they've never been used, an AR that might be real, might be airsoft. It's like, why don't you use some of that stuff? Show you running some of it because we haven't seen any. And I follow her because she's funny, and I want to see if she wins or loses. And it's like she's creating a cult of personality on using social media. Is she going to win? Well, we'll find out. I think it's August 9th or August 6th, wherever she's from, is when the election is. And we'll see what happens. Or is she just building herself up on the national stage so people do know her and who knows where she's going? But it is, you can see what she's doing. She's just trying to create controversy over being,
Hey, man.
just for being
I've been
controversial.
following you for a few years on.
Gosh,
Man, you really like him, huh?
no, I mean he was,
Congratulations, AC.
you know, flattering the heck out of me. Yeah, I went ahead and got that deleted. Delete, delete, delete. Okay, great. So, dude, you're absolutely right, and I want to clarify. I'm not bringing her up because I want to bully her, because I think she's can't be bullied. I think she's unapologetic, bold, strong, brave, fierce, all the good things. Um, but there's something interesting about like the marketing tactics that we see, um, for especially right leaning politicians, because the left leaning ones don't touch guns because it's a crime, right? But
Yeah.
if you're right leaning, like the the governor of Virginia, the lieutenant governor of Virginia, she posed with an AR-15, and you know how you can tell if somebody doesn't actually shoot guns. They hold the AR and their finger isn't high along the slide. It's just around the grip. I got to pull up the picture because it's hard to know. But Google, if you're on audio only, Google Lieutenant Governor of Virginia. It's a black lady and she's holding an AR and her hand is wrapped all the way around the pistol grip, like she's not used to actually running a gun. She was just told like, hold this. The Republicans are going to
I wouldn't go there, bro.
conservatives.
You know she
Conservatives are
was in
going
the
to
Marine Corps, right?
listen.
I'm
Listen.
not saying that she's. I'm not saying she ran guns in the Corps, but
I mean, but
that
she
looks
had to
like it's
qual on
more
it.
hers, huh?
She had to qual on the gun. Like, what is she doing?
Depends on where she was stationed at, how many
Okay.
times she qualified. I had an
Yeah.
exemption. I was in Japan for 2 years. I didn't have
Yeah.
to qualify.
Well, my brother fired a
Um,
pistol one time or rifle one time. He was in the Navy for 4 years. So, yeah.
totally different animal.
Yeah.
Because they don't have that tradition, depending on MOS. I mean, depending on their job.
Yeah. The
But
Navy
as a
was a little
female
more blue
Marine,
sky.
she definitely has handled. And I think we were in around the same time. So her firearm issued was at M16A2. But again, don't know how long ago she held one. Is that it looked more hers? She looked more comfortable than this lady did with it.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
But
that's it's true. And I'll give her propers, especially after taking the fierce correction that I just received. Um, hey,
no, again, it doesn't
don't get
mean that
me
she
wrong.
tested firearms since she got out the Corps. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Let's not get it twisted.
that's also true, and I think there's something to that. The idea that you perhaps we're still trying to like if we looking at the picture, the grainy
Hmm.
photo, get that finger high, get it above the trigger. It tells me
Again,
that you don't
when was the
shoot like
last
that.
time she took training? When was the last time she trained? She might have. I mean, again, if it's old school days, we did not have our finger high enough. We didn't do that.
Okay, well, I mean that I guess that presents something there that training has evolved over the years, and it definitely has. There's a lot of old school tactics that we look at and we're just like, oh, what? How dare you?
Cringe, cringe. How dare you have your finger in the trigger guard? What is wrong with you?
Right.
But today, I mean, if I don't know what do we do? Using a caulk gun, my fingers up and off the trigger, and it's like, bro, what are you gonna
Dude,
do? Accidentally spin
dude,
caulk?
dude. I mean, it's absolutely true. And once again, I want to clarify. I'm not bringing this up to bully people. I'm bringing this up to just to hopefully open people's eyes. Like people are doing things with rifles and trying to appeal to the inner gun owner and get you excited. And the reality is they either don't know much or they're doing it just to get your vote, just to get you excited, just to kind of appeal to you. And this young lady, I think she's Venezuelan or whatever.
Hmm.
Good for her. She knows what she's doing in the marketing game. But the keen eye will know, like, okay, she's an airsofter. She don't actually get out there and run drills with the boys. And I wish she would. I wish she would. And
Tulsi Gabbard
maybe
did
she
it.
does. Tulsi definitely did. And the weird thing about Tulsi is she was anti-gun for so long, left her party, and then started shooting with staccato. Which, if you're gonna do it, go big, right? Go big or go home. But that one was a little bit weird too, because I'm like, I like Tulsi. If I had to vote for a Democrat, it probably would have been Tulsi. She just seemed really genuine. But what is with this switch? Did you see her switching when she made her big switch?
I don't pay attention to politics at all. What I did
Yeah.
pay attention to when she came into the gun game was the number of firearms companies that were tripping all over themselves to welcome her into it. And I'm like, I'm looking at her suspiciously, like, okay. And I had this discussion with some of my guys, and some were like, oh, just ignore her. She's not good for this. And then another one of my friends, because again, we try to bring people in. And he was like, well, do we try to bring people in that disagree with us? Is there room for people to change their mind? Is there room for people to grow and become pro gun? And I was like, that's true. You can see what she does. And I agree. We can't turn her away because she wrote anti-gun bills, signed off on anti-gun bills. But what I can do is
I mean,
question this.
a lot of people would be turned away for that.
They say she's changed and she's pro-gun now. My question is this: what has she done pro-gun? Not use them, because we have enough firearms manufacturers that don't seem to be pro 2A. What has she done? Has she gone and testified for our rights in front of the very same body, legislative body that she was part of and voted against our rights? Has she spoken to for us on the state, on a local, on the state, on a national level for pro 2A rights in a Senate, in an assembly? Because saying it on your podcast or saying it as a guest somewhere is not the same thing as going on record saying it in front of a political body, especially if you are already part of that. If you're a part of the system, quitting is one thing. Going back and fighting for the rights you tried to take away is another. Now, she doesn't have to do that.
Yeah,
She's her own person. But for me to maybe buy into she's pro 2A, it's going to take more than her shooting a staccato at tactical games.
dude, that is the most coherent thing I've ever heard today, anyways. Um, the idea that you were literally like, imagine, and I don't want to do any false equivalencies, so I'm not going to try to come up with like scenarios or examples because that could get really bad real fast. Like, did the homie really just compare 2A rights to slavery? Like, don't do that, you know. But
No.
like, let's not. But the idea that you fought against a thing super hard, but you told people that their rights were not universal, at least not in your state, like that we should not do these things, and then your life changed, you lost your job, and you're totally for it now because it's convenient, and that's the only way to stay in position, like the only way to stay in the political zeitgeist, because a lot of these people are talentless hacks. I'm not saying Tulsi is, but the only job that they could possibly get, like they're not working at McDonald's, they're not going to be somebody's executive, they're not going to be an outreach coordinator because they don't even have those skills, but potentially, um, this is Missouri. She was in Hawaii. Um,
Hawaii. Hawaii, as she says every time.
Hawaii.
Hawaii.
Stop. It's funny because when people are like from a place, especially like my Latino folks, like the like they hit it real hard and they roll the R, and you're just like, okay, yeah, I know you're from the place. Somebody was like Pedro Pascal. I can't roll my R's hard, but it was funny. Anyways, point being is if you fought hard against the Second Amendment and then you decided you still want to stay in politics, I'm going to be with the other guys now. Like you just said, shouldn't you do something? Should you write a letter to the Congress? Should you go testify in front of, a local body? At least for Hawaii, shouldn't she go before her local body in Hawaii and fight for the 2A rights for people who are there? And maybe she has, and we just haven't heard about it, but I doubt it because these people are really good about telling you everything they do. Everything they do.
I, I'm, and my whole thing is I've testified in the state I live in. I consider myself a Second Amendment advocate, an activist. So I've done it. I've testified. I've traveled to DC. I've spoken. You know what I mean? I didn't speak when I was down in DC, but I attended the rally in 2019, and I was ready to speak if they had, an opening. But whatever. My whole thing is, what has she done to push back against the work she did against our rights? And if it's only being on podcasts and getting sponsored by gun companies, that's not pro 2A, in my opinion.
Hey, man.
And
I've been following you for a few years on Instagram.
I'm sorry. I don't know where it's coming from. Where is this coming from?
the
What was
ghost of AC.
AC plays every single okay, it's stuck up here. I'm This platform's confusing me. It was stuck. Okay. So, no, that makes perfect sense. people. I mean, I'm gonna try to modify the audio, and people are gonna be like, "What are you talking about?" I'm just like, listen, don't ask questions. Um, though we have about 15 minutes until our guy from X Tech is going to come on. So I just want to make sure we have the timestamps. If we could just really quick, for those who are watching on YouTube live, could y'all hit like on this video? Because I'm seeing a few of you here. The like to viewer ratio is way off. So if y'all could just hit like, maybe even hit share and share this on your Facebook groups. Let people know what we're doing. Let people know we're having these conversations. I would appreciate that. Normally, I don't like to interrupt the show to talk about these things, but it's episode 100. I'm gonna take my laps.
Do it, bro. I just bounced out and like didn't jump back in the chat. You
I
want me to
saw
go
it. It
ahead and
changed
answer this
right
question?
away. Yeah, yeah. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
you want me to answer this question about Sons of Liberty?
Yeah, go ahead.
Mike is 100% pro 2A, the owner of Sons of Liberty, and I've not spoken to him. We've only talked online through DMs. Uh, I think he knows of me. He likes my stuff. He follows me. I think. I know he likes my stuff. I think he saw an opportunity and he reached out, and I don't have a problem with that. He reached out, he saw it as an opportunity to welcome her into the community. Cool. But like DJ Play Nice said, what have you done for me lately? What have you done to fight for those rights? Um, I have no problem with the community reaching out for her, but I want expectations. I don't want a pound of flesh. I want work put in.
Dude.
I want work put in. She wants to be seen as an asset. Be one.
Hmm. Absolutely. So one of the things that I think we absolutely have to talk about, since we're talking about vets, since we're talking about yourself being a vet, Tulsi Gabbard being a vet, and that's like her claim to fame, right? She was like, the Iraq
Yeah.
War was terrible. We had to go die. And like the truth is, there's a lot of people who were sent to die, right? And that is horrible. There's a lot of people who came back broken. These wars are terrible. But there's a lot of people who they went, they came back, and now they can capitalize off of this. Which I'm a capitalist. I love it. But they become the ghost of Christmas past, um, or something of like a Scrooge type character. They become the a wraith called a brovet. What, bro?
Yep.
Can we talk about that? Because some people are going to be like, "What are you talking about, bro? What's a brovet?"
Okay. Oh, bro, I didn't know which one was it, vet bro or bro vet, but yes, it's the person that has to tell you that they are a veteran always, and it's that false authoritative. Was it false call to authority?
Mhm.
Well, as a veteran, dude, bro, I was just asking you like who makes the best burger, bro. I was just trying to get a hamburger. Is it Five Guys? Is it is it In and Out? Well, as a
Right.
veteran, I'll tell you right now, what a burger actually knows what you're talking about. And
Because they were at my post, and we would wake up at 2 a.m. and go get them.
exactly.
And listen,
So
I'm
when
not trying to be
she's talking about,
disrespectful, but go ahead, go ahead.
oh, I'm being very disrespectful and kiss my
Oh
butt. I was
no!
in from 88 93. So roll with it. I'm old school. So
Uh,
when her authority as a veteran was what she used to help ban guns.
yeah.
We have Tim Kennedy, who's running around as a vet, and he's working really hard to make sure it's more difficult to create more obstacles between people and firearms ownership. The latest one was that organization he was with that did a background check that checked your social media for FFLs. He was part of that.
Hmm.
And when that got exposed, they all ran like roaches with the lights on and tried to distance themselves from it. He also did a podcast with Lance Armstrong where he says 18-year-olds shouldn't own firearms. And when I ran into him in 2021 or 2022 at a party out in SHOT Show and actually asked him, could I interview him real quick at the party, just asking him about that particular thing and what he said about 18-year-olds. He was like, no, I think everybody should have the right to carry, and it's your constitutional right, and God bless America. And then the next thing you know, he's putting up another obstacle between you and your constitutional rights.
I saw the
So he's
video.
another. Yeah, he's another bro vet, whatever. So these guys who aren't for your rights, I'll go ahead and put it out there. Black Rifle Coffee is another one. And I don't know what YouTube video I saw, but they had guests. They had guests on Matt Best and Tim Kennedy on the same show. I was like, wow, I hope it's not a Second Amendment show because those two aren't the greatest for that.
Listen,
Meanwhile,
Matt
they were
Best is
talking
a
about Rangers
fantastic
in movies or
creator.
something.
Fantastic
What was that?
creator. Matt Best is a
Hmm.
fantastic creator. His stuff looks so good. But
Yep.
if you're anti 2A, oh no.
Yeah. So, and it's like, well, what kind of gatekeeping are you doing, Tony? There are people in a position that want to use their time in the military to, again, seem like they're authoritative on everything firearms and firearms ownership, but they're not pro Second Amendment.
No.
And that's a problem to me. Matter of fact, not only are they pro Second Amendment, but when given a choice to stand up or lay down for a check, they lay down quickly. Black Rifle Coffee is only known to Black Rifle Coffee as us, to us. If it's a regular person is walking through Walmart and when they see their coffee, it's BRC. It's not Black Rifle. They took that whole entire name off the product
Hmm.
when they went corporate. So again,
Hmm.
I'm not an arbitrator of all things Second Amendment. I just have expectations and I see people using their veteran status, whatever status you want to call that. I feel it's an honor for me to have served, not something you should kiss my ring for. It's just something I did. I'm proud of my service. And the only reason I have it even on my profile is because it means something to others. It separates you a little bit from some things. And it allows me to say that, yes, I'm pointing out these people I feel are using this and still not voting or working towards your civil rights. I swore to uphold the Constitution when I joined at 17. It didn't have an expiration date. I'm still doing it. I'm not going to stop doing it until I die. So when we have people like Tulsi Gabbard that voted against it and supported legislation against our Second Amendment rights, when you have people like Tim Kennedy and Matt Best that don't seem, they'll say one thing, but then when you see the work they put in and who they donate to and who they support, it is not Second Amendment advocacy. It's people that vote against Second Amendment advocacy. It's creating obstacles between regular civilians, excuse me, citizens and firearms ownerships. That's a problem with me, and I'm going to point it out. So when you see I'm a vet, you can't go, you're just jealous and you're, no, man, I did my time. Matter of fact, I did my time before most of them were out of high school. So I've been there, done that, got the t-shirt.
No. Dude, I can appreciate that breakdown and you I what stood out from that entire thing, because you said a ton, right? Is you said you corrected yourself real quick when you said civilian, excuse me, citizens, because
Hmm.
I've been playing. I'm not going to get into that, but there's this concept. I mean, if you ever saw Starship Troopers or played Helldivers, like there's a difference between a citizen and a civilian. Like if
Yeah.
you like everyone born on American soil to American parents specifically, or you're a citizen. You have that. That's yours. You're born with all the rights and privileges of the position, and you can exercise that freely until people try to fight against that, right? And then it gets a little weird. But the idea that we we have to have served in the military or have gone through some sort of special training to unlock our rights of a citizen. Oh, well, you freaking Bill O'Reilly was talking to who's the guy who ran John late night John what's his name? He was the old late night host. So Bill O'Reilly and one of the Johns from late night TV they were having a conversation, and
Hmm.
Bill O'Reilly was like, I think if you want to, you can get a handgun, you can do it as you want, but if you want a rifle platform, you should have to prove to the people why you need it. So we're going backwards. We're going backwards into old Mississippi style, um, New York City style, LA County
Hmm.
style, where you have to go to the sheriff and tell them why you need it, and then they will easily deny you because you're not a celebrity, you're not somebody important to them. and even if you were, like, does that make you better than me? So you think you're better than me? Oh, okay. John Stewart, thank you. Gun websites.
Okay.
So, um,
So the difference between citizen and civilian. When I was in, there was a distinction, obviously, because I was no longer a civilian. I was in the military. I was a United States Marine. I was expected to put myself between people that are willing to do American citizens harm, civilians, and the people. Like that was my job, is to be that wall between people that were trying to harm Americans. So yes, that was a distinction. Then I got out and I had a little bit of that bro vet that I had to get out because civilians got on my nerves because civilians were this and civilians were that. Like they were always late. They didn't have any urgency. They were undisciplined. And it was all of that stuff that I had to pull my head out of my butt and get back to being a regular dang human being. And that really helped because it was in post Gulf War, 93, 94 when I got out. And it took a little while to calm down and realize that I'm a citizen. We're all citizens. Calm down. Calm down, Francis, as the line from Stripes. Calm down, Francis.
calm down,
And that's what I
Francis.
had to do. And that's what I like to tell some of these guys, but they are invested in being this bro vet because it gets them paid.
Hmm.
It's tied directly to everything. And I'm like, is there anyone who can be a Navy SEAL and not have a book deal? Is there anybody that can get out of the military and not own a freaking coffee company? It's like, it's just crazy, man. But it is what it is. I'm not hating on it, but I'm pointing out they need to pull their head out of their ass.
Gun websites. I think he was going along with the joke. Civilians always have their hands in their pockets.
Yes, they do. And it's okay. I'll tell you right now, working with law enforcement, I am not a law enforcement officer in any way whatsoever. But there are a lot of us former military dudes that are there. And to see the difference, put your hands in your pockets for it. And I'm talking about someone who's been out 20, 30 years. Take your hands out of your pocket. What is wrong with you? And it's just funny, funny stuff because it doesn't go away. It's always there because it was a part of your life. It was
Hmm.
part of the brainwashing. It's called culture. It's the
Good.
culture that we lived in for a number of years. What was acceptable and what wasn't acceptable. Doesn't make you better than anybody. Matter of
Yeah.
fact, my job was to serve the citizens of this country.
I love that. I can really appreciate that. And so we're going to give Jeremy a few minutes to tap in with us. But he hasn't tapped in just yet. We're still a little bit early as we
Okay.
finished that whole section. But I guess I do want to talk a little bit about, and we may have to pause it for a second, but I do want to talk a little bit
No problem.
about um, this gun that I got from Canic. Um, it was super interesting. I want to address this because, and I want to talk to you about this, right? So, before the TTI Combat came out, I had a few GAT chats. GAT chat is like another division of what we're doing here at Gun Club Radio, where somebody comes on, they talk about the collection, they share the stories behind it. Hey, I got this from my dad. I had my last $5 and I pawned this off and I had to go get it back. You know, like the stories behind the cool stuff that we have, right? Show and tell with guns. And the we were talking to we were talking to Black Powder podcast about he had Canic executive and he was like, I love this gun. I just got a raise and I got it. And now they're coming out with this TTI Combat and I just think it's not for me. And he had a few good points. A few points I was just like, that's not really a good point, but you know, and a few other great points. Um, and people got so mad at us. They were like, "How dare you review a gun and not have shot it yet?" I'm like, "Review a gun? Are you dumb? We were just talking about it."
Yeah, we have that. we discuss firearms. We have a review on our show, Gun and Gear Review Podcast. We
Yeah.
do one review, and then we discuss 3 or 4 items that are guns or gear.
Yeah.
How can you review something? There's a difference between having a discussion and reviewing something. And we have 4 guys on our show that have lots of experience with different firearms, shooting competitively, going to shows, going to gun shows, going to SHOT Show, NRA, Great American Outdoor Show. So we handle a lot of firearms and we can have an opinion. So my opinion of the Canic is, man, y'all paying a whole bunch of money for Terran Tactical to rub that on his booty and give it to you. Congratulations. So you got a Cerakote job, and he tweaks some stuff, and he has a comp on it. Cool.
Hmm.
But I was just because it's called the Rival. The Rival was the last big Canic push that they had, the Canic Rival,
The rival
and
was
then they
really
had
good.
this Rival Steel.
Yeah.
I checked it out, and I'm sitting there, and I actually got the videos that I'll probably put up in the next few days of me sitting at the gun shop with a Rival in one hand, dry firing it, and the Canic TTI or Terran Tactical,
Yeah.
yeah, Innovation Drive,
Hmm.
in the other one, and I'm dry firing that one, and I'm like, Rival has a better trigger. Rival has a smoother break. Rival has a shorter reset. So I don't have a magazine well with the Rival. Okay, cool.
I think there's one in the
Um,
box actually. Like if you got the whole kit.
okay. Yeah, I was just talking about what was in the gun store available, and
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
looking at it and I'm trying to find it because a lot of people before the Canic's latest evolution, there was 2 guns that I found a lot of on the range when I went. They were the new Canic rifle and the CZ P10 full size, and then the one after that, the P10 competition, P10 full size competition.
Hmm.
But those were a lot of the newer guns people had that were at a really great price of about $700 and gives you a lot of options and a great trigger, great sights with a holster and magwell and all that stuff. And I'm looking at the Terran version and going, other than that comp. And then one of the guys at the gun shop, owners of the gun shop, said they tell you to run 124 in there, like hot NATO loads, and it wasn't feeding. And he was like, and I tried the 142s, 145, something like that. And he was like, that wouldn't work either. It would not go in the battery. And I kept having to slap the back of the slide. So I ended up sending it back to him because it would only run 115s. So again,
Oof.
now why are you getting this thing? Working on your splits? I mean, are you shooting competition with it, or is it getting it as just a cool carry guide? Because you're paying over $1,000 for this thing, and still, in my opinion, you might have gotten a better gun with the Rival or even with a Mete.
So here's the conflict, right? Because I know the Canic guys. They've always been good to me. You know the Canic guys too. Yet you have no
Hmm.
problem letting them know that you're not a fan of this one. Just in concept overall at this point, right?
Yeah.
And they sent me one after we had a conversation because we actually, let me break things down a little bit. So we had that conversation with Black Powder Podcast. They we posted it. People were mad. How dare you review a gun and not have shot it yet? Yada yada. I'm like, guys, we were talking about the gun, just kind of like you would talk about. Are you excited for this movie? Like, we're sharing our interest. And then, and then we started getting flooded with people who were like, my gun's not working. I've tried everything. I put 500 rounds through it, and 100 of them didn't sight. Just like bad stuff. It was really really bad. Um, and then I went to Adam, the marketing manager for Canic. If you guys run into him, giant man. And people,
Yeah.
somebody
You'll
thought
know
this
him when you
was
see him.
somebody was like, this sales rep doesn't know what he's talking about. I'm like, sales rep, okay, all right, okay. Anyway, so we went, and I was like, Adam, are you guys having manufacturing issues? And he's like, no, we're not having issues. We believe it's this, this, and this. And then I said, can you get that on camera? We had that conversation on camera. He explained that he feels that it's a certain amount of grip that people are not utilizing. And as much as maybe that's some, I don't think that's all, because there's way too many people who are explaining that they've been shooting a while. Not that because there's people who shoot and there's people who shoot for real. Um, And there's guys who shoot for real who are having issues. There's guys who have had their guns sent back, and then there's guys who have trimmed the recoil springs. Like if you're trimming recoil springs and you're trimming your strikers and you're changing things out, like, and you know what you're doing. Like, okay, I'm gonna believe that you know what you're doing. Um, sorry. So, um, and so the sorry, I just got a text from Jeremy, so my train of thought got screwed up. Point being is we put that video out. That video got like 10,000 views in a few days. People were mad. Everybody was like, this guy's lying. I'm looking at the comments right now. It's more than 5 people. I'm like, I don't think he meant to lie, but unfortunately, because Adam was like, it's like 5 or 10 people have an issue with it. And in the comments alone, there's like 100 comments of people complaining. I'm just like, oh, it's not good. But I have the gun right there,
Look,
and I've run it, and I like it. But that's a media sample, so I don't know if they made sure to get the good one. And so I'm in a weird spot.
the guy who was talking to me is one of the owners of the gun shop who shoots competitively, who has retired law enforcement,
Yeah.
and I've shot against the guy. So yeah, he knows what he's talking about when it comes to at least his that gun that he decided to take and shoot in competition. Um, because he runs CZ75s. So I mean, it's not as if he doesn't know firearms and what he expects to work, and that's fine. I mean, it's a new firearm. There are teething
Yes.
issues. I'm not saying trash panic.
Yes.
I'm not saying don't get them at all. Me, I'm on Gun and Gear Review podcast. Our bailiwick is the new stuff that comes out.
Yes.
But when you're asking me, what should I buy for home defense, self defense, or even to shoot in a competition because I'm getting into it, man, don't buy something that's new and be some company's beta tester. If you want to buy the newer gun because it's a new gun, cool, but don't bet your life on it. If
Yeah.
you want to shoot it in competition and it's a hit or miss, but you want to be the new dude with the thing, cool, but understand it could not work. A
Yeah.
la, hold on, P320. Now this thing, the Hudson H9, the Daniel Defense H9. A lot of those guns came out and they did not work and had to go right back immediately.
Today, dude. Even the 365 had striker issues where it wasn't all the time, but I guess some of the early strikers, they weren't good enough to break through primers. For those who understand how guns work. So here's the kicker. Here's why I brought it up. Not to kind of dig at Canic's wound of this gun kind of being hit or miss for some people, because people who love it, they love it. They like it a lot. It's a beautiful gun. It's got some cool features to it. The grip is extra aggressive. I like it. Now, is it flatter than anything else I've shot? I think I could maybe shoot my Glock 45 flatter if I really wanted to. And I'm not saying that to be rude. I'm saying that to say, like, it's just kind of the nature of things, right? Um, but here's the thing. I just saw, and you guys on the thumbnails for this, QVO Tactical. Roger Barrera, is that his last name?
Mm-hmm.
Out of Virginia,
Roger.
one of the great holster makers of our day, makes some of the drippiest holsters you ever see.
Nevada,
And
out of Nevada.
where did I say?
Virginia. He's out of
Oh,
Vegas.
did I say?
You said Virginia. I don't know why, but it's okay.
I meant to say Vegas. Yeah, he's out of Vegas, and
Mm-hmm.
he has got an awesome YouTube channel, and he reviewed it between him and the real Dirty Harry, Callahan. I just started following him.
He's a
Um,
funny guy. He's a funny guy.
he's a hilarious dude. But they both had issues with the gun. And I was like, oh my gosh, 2 media samples are failing. And so I hit them up in the DMs. I hit them both up last night just to be sure because I wanted to talk about this. And they're like, yeah, actually, I watched Roger's video. He's like, hey, we went to our local shop in Vegas and we picked one of these up. I think they either bought one or they got it on loan or something like that. And it started failing ridiculously. This 365 Fuse, just so we can, I don't know if I mentioned the name of the gun. 365 Fuse, which is like a Glock 19 length 365, kind of like a compact hybrid gun, right? Ultra slim, 22 rounds in the magazine, about, was it 4.25 inches on the barrel, something like that?
4.3.
Yeah, okay,
I just
4.3.
did a video on it. I just did a video on it Thursday. Yeah, 4.3. We had to
So,
look it up for the video because I
right.
said 4.1.
Yeah, hey, give this man all his inches, right? So we they were both complaining about the gun, like, hey, this gun's not cycling. And Callahan said that he's having, when he reached out to Sig, they said, hey, send it in, but we ship the gun with anti rust grease. I'm like, ooh, so you guys are finally addressing the rust issue. Yeah, that's great, because I'm hearing a lot of complaints about these rusting 365s. But are you telling me that a little bit of, I'm sure they dropped a little bit of lube in the gun, and if the gun's jamming up, you're gonna try to quick remedy that. Um, I don't think that's the issue. Like, I don't think that's the issue, especially considering they're trying different magazines and different frames. Like, they took the Icarus. Roger took his Icarus build, took the 22 round magazine because he's like, okay, well, is it those magazines? Because sometimes the springs and mags, they don't interact with the guns right. It's not that. Okay, well, is it the feed ramp? Some people in the comment section are like, hey, I think maybe the feed ramp's off. Maybe it's this. Maybe it's that. Maybe it's the recoil spring. It's not tuned correctly for a gun that's that length. There's so many thoughts, right? But Sig is like, send it back in and we'll find out. Is Sig beta testing with their user base? And don't you dare say yes.
Wait a minute. That's all Sig does is beta test with their user base.
And then they sell it to
Oh
the
my
government.
God. Yeah. I won't listen. Calm down before you say something because you never know how this is going to be played back.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, love Sig. They innovate in the
I
space, but
I am not buying a new gun that hasn't been ran before and people don't know it. I carry a Gen 1 or Gen 2, however you look at the first generation Glock 19. That's my everyday carry gun. All right.
okay.
It's been well proven. It's a police trade in, and I run rounds through it forever. My
How many rounds does that
CZ75,
gun
one
see?
was,
Oh my gosh,
I
that
have
gun is
no
ancient.
idea, but I've shot thousands of them through it. My CZ75s, one is from 89, one is from 91. Do I buy new guns? Yes, I have a couple. But new designs, I'm holding off on because I want to make sure these things work. When they change something on it, it's not necessary. Now, I assume that all it is a regular P365 because you already have the X macro.
Right.
It's like zero point 0.2 inches longer than the X macro. So what's the problem here?
What's the
Why
big
is this
deal?
a problem?
It shouldn't be,
Yeah,
right? But I don't know.
exactly.
Sometimes they're like, hey, okay, to account for this, we need to change this. And tuning a gun is cool because if you ever built a gun or fixed up a Glock or whatever, changed the recoil spring, added a comp, there's a couple things you got to do. Like if you add the Radian comp to a Glock 19, potentially, depending on how that recoil spring was manufactured, the actual weight on it, not the weight that is advertised, but the actual weight, the ammo loads you're using, you might actually um, basically untune it, and now you're getting issues. Now you got to upgrade your recoil spring or go buy theirs, um, and they'll tell you that. I actually talked to the Radiant guys because we saw that happen in one of the videos from Pure Army, Miss Hero, and Pureologists, who we love their work, and we want to see them back in the space a little bit more. But they had issues with the gun once they upgraded to the Radiant Afterburner Ramjet compensator for the Glock 19. And then they went and got the upgraded spring, and it worked. Unfortunately, when you try to tune a gun for mass purchase, you're going to run into issues. It's a manufactured good, and who doesn't make their springs? Most people don't make springs in house. In fact, a lot of people don't make sights in house. Maybe Glock does because it's just such a simple thing. But
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and say it because you sound like an old guy. Understand, I've been in this as entertainment. As when some of you people grew up out there and you had sports stars and you knew their stats. I was the kid that was reading the gun magazines at 10, 12. So I've been in it that long. And not only did I read the magazines that came out then, when you went to the Goodwill, when you went to the Salvation Army, when you went to any of these places and you could buy magazines almost by the pound, I'm buying mags from the early 70s, and I'm reading from then. We've gotten to the point, and this is what I said on our podcast years ago. We should have some of the features of competition guns on your carry gun. It really makes sense. Something that makes it easier for you to shoot faster, reload faster, acquire targets faster, and have more dependable ejection and less jams. It makes sense to get some of these competition qualities on your defensive handguns that are sold mass in mass. Well, what people don't understand is when you start tweaking this handgun that came stock, like a stock Glock, a stock this, a stock that, that has years of R&D behind it, and they made sure it works with everything from your steel case Tula to hot hand loads to top of the line self defense ammo. They know it works. Now you just added a comp to it. Now you just change the springs up because you put an aftermarket trigger. That has not been proven for thousands of rounds. Now you have to figure out how to get that balance back. You've just tweaked your gun out of spec because you kept adding things to it because you wanted a trigger pull that was lighter. You wanted to have slide cuts in it because they looked cool, or it had to offset the weight of the red dot you had installed. Like you changed something. And now the factories are trying to put out comps. Well, comps used to be like custom work that had to be timed because they were competition guns, and the competition guns fired a certain weight of ammo at a certain velocity because you had your competition loads. Well, it's very difficult for you to sell an aftermarket barrel that's going to work with everything. Depends on what people put into it. So we've kind of created our own problem with some of this customization of some of these features, and you got to get back to it. You got to go. All right, what did I do? When did we step out of line? And I think that's what's the problem with the P365 Fuse. It, from what we're saying, they got to figure out what they tweaked too much and went off the rails.
Right. And people are like, well, haven't they tested these guns before they go out? And like, yeah, they so what they do, right? And they explained this to me when I was talking to them when I talked to them at the NAGA convention last year, is they'll send guns out to the guys in the SIG Academy, guys who are part of the training school, and they'll get data from them. And so their data pool is coming from guys who have been shooting forever, so they're not going to sometimes induce some of the malfunctions that maybe a less experienced shooter might, or they're using specific ammo. I doubt they're running Remington or White Box from Winchester. Like I doubt it. I doubt it.
Winchester Steel case, yeah, Steel USA. They're not running Steel USA in that class.
I
No,
mean, maybe not. Yeah. So there's that, and I'm curious to hear your thoughts. Are you guys interested in buying? And even for the podcast guys, send me, you know, tweet at us. Tony Simon is busy on Twitter. Tweet at us and let us know, or X. Is it, how do you post on X? And let us know. Are you guys buying the newest Sigs or like new designs? Because the Kinetic is a new design. Like they'll tell you that it's kind of like a rival. It's kind of like a meta with a comp, but technically it's a new design. Are you guys buying new designs? Are you guys kind of holding off? Are you refusing to buy guns when they first come out? Because we see the Smith and Wesson, and they just came out with a ported and comped gun, and I'm not hearing anything bad about those. But just because I didn't hear about it doesn't mean it didn't happen. So
yeah, because I have a friend who won't go buy. One of the guys I know won't buy from Smith and Wesson because he had a problem with their MMP 15, and they didn't resolve it like he wanted, and then wouldn't return his phone calls. So there's going to be problems because stuff is mass produced. It's
yeah,
just that. And it comes to customer service and also what a customer's expectation is of how to resolve this. You
yeah,
know what I mean? Oh, I want a whole new gun. Well, that's not what they're going to do, bro. It's just not what they're going to do.
absolutely not. Now I see we have about 10 more minutes before we hit the 2 hour point. You only signed up for 2 hours, and we have about probably about 5 more minutes until the homie Jeremy pops on. So I want to try to give away some of the stuff that Jeremy's not involved with, such as
Cool.
we have a few cleaning kits from Otis. This one specifically is for shotgun. Um, I think, yeah, 17 cal or 12 gauge. So I'm not going to send y'all this one, but there's a few more. I got like a ton actually. So let's give one away. All right, where's my wheel of fortune? I had one. Here we go. Can you hear that?
Nope, can't hear it at all.
Okay, that's great. Hey, here we go. We got a winner, Daniel. So what we're going to do is we're going to play this audio, and it's going to continue to play forever. Um, Here, let me grab Daniel. Daniel's actually on the show. He had a GAT chat. He was a random guy. I saw him on the internet. He added me, and I was like, I think he's doing some interesting stuff in the space. I couldn't tell exactly what he did, but he was a martial arts bro. It actually, kind of like close-ish with some of the guys in like the stunt space and Hollywood. I'm like, dude, you're awesome. Come on the show, and we'll talk about like gun fu. Anyway, so he got a chance to come on, and I let him enter this because he's a cool dude. So
Aaron, I just wanted to give a big thanks again for allowing me to be on the show as a guest. Um, One of your more recent episodes with the gentleman who makes the magazines and talking about the SIG and I think it's Springfield lawsuits and all that stuff. Very informative. Didn't know any of that stuff was going on. Super cool to hear somebody who wants to innovate and is doing things to progress the industry, and just to hear different perspectives. And you always ask really good in-depth questions too, and makes people stop and think. So we appreciate you, my friend. Keep doing it. Keep doing it up, baby.
hey, thank you guys. And unfortunately, that one came off a little bit soft. I'm not sure why it was so quiet. Apologies. But that was Daniel's submission, and I'm gonna roll again. We're gonna give away two of these. So Daniel, congratulations, you're getting a kit, and somebody else is getting another one. Ah, shoot, did I forgot to take Manny's name out? There we go. Let me take Daniel's name out too. And AC already won. So let's spin that again. Sorry guys.
Who's AC? Play his audio again. I want to hear him for the seventh time.
Stop. No. Uh-oh. Hey, Thomas, I know you're here. I know you're here, Thomas. Raise your hand, Thomas. Thomas just won a cleaning kit, dude. Congratulations. You can clean that spoon.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah. And where are you? Here we go. Let's play yours.
I really appreciate what Aaron from Armed Atlas, Caustic Conversations, and Gun Club Podcast is doing, showing Black 2A in a very positive light and safe firearms usage in general in a very positive light. This is something that we need more of in the community, and what they're doing is really knocking it out of the park with that. Has nothing but my support.
All right. Hey, thank you so much. Thomas has been a huge supporter for us very long time, and you can run into him in our Discord group. So I think the Discord group is in the thing, in the description of this video, show notes. So if you guys want to join us there and have a good time, just kind of chat and learn about stuff. There's one for gaming if you're a gamer. There's a page for anime if you're an anime nerd. Like we have a little something for everybody. But Jeremy Deadman is here. My gosh, give me a second. Let me bring him on. Jeremy,
What's up, gentlemen?
welcome to the show. Hold on. Let me give you the screen for a second. Dude, thank you for coming on. I know this is kind of like a little bit last minute. But I appreciate you. How do I say this? Volunteering. I think was it during last show or like after last show? You're like, hey, dude, I know you're doing your episode, 100 episode giveaway. Like, can I be a part of it? And I was just like, can you? Absolutely, let's do it. And your submission was super generous. we're giving away like $100 worth of gear from your website. Somebody was just saying, you missed it, I think. Somebody was just saying like, hey, actually, I have a magazine that I just bought for the Shield. Was it the Shield or the MMP, or I guess the MMP is a Shield, whichever one. Somebody was just saying that they're running your mags, and then somebody else was like, "Yeah, I run their mags too." I'm like, "Heck yeah, I love to see the integration."
Love it, man. Well, I'm happy to support what you guys are doing, and so congrats on 100. That's a huge deal, and
Yeah,
excited to see what the next 100 brings or whatever you guys are up to.
yeah, yeah. Well, obviously we have people that we want to make sure they have an opportunity to win some magazines from you or whatever it is they want to buy from the website. I don't know if you guys have stickers. Maybe they buy $100 worth of stickers, right? But
Yeah, we
can
got
you
them. I got
just
some truck details. Yeah.
Oh heck yeah! Well, definitely. Let's cover the truck, or we could buy some the California special or the California special
That's
mags. You got,
the uh,
but
the California
yeah, I'm,
special.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
give you the
So,
screen. Huh. If I can give you the
so,
screen, here we go.
so
Yeah,
the easily adaptable 1030s for Cali. But yeah, we got our AK mags. We've got our easy loading AR mags. We've got the M&P mags. We've got the 365 extension. So yeah, we're just doing $100. So whoever Aaron tells me wins, reach out if you want to spend more. I'm happy to take more money from you, but you got $100 off. So
my guy Kiwi Dog said West Coast mags. I mean, it's true, and it's unfortunate, but I did want to just give you an opportunity to talk about the heart behind what you do. Obviously, if they go back and listen to your episode 98, I believe, that was fantastic. A lot of people left messages saying that they really enjoyed your episode in particular, and I was like, how are we going to make an episode talking about a patent lawsuit interesting? And somehow we found a way. Somehow we found a way.
oh,
But
absolutely, man. Well,
can we
I
talk about the heart of what you
appreciate it. Yeah.
do?
Yeah, absolutely. So, X-Tech's founded by three of us, and our whole deal is that we don't have a resume as badasses or a tactical background. We're American consumers, just like most our customers are, and we have a very strong background in engineering and polymer science, and we're obsessed over the idea of making magazines that not only can you depend on, but you can pass down to your children and their children. And so every day we wake up and competitions ourselves and trying to get that next level at all times. So that's really what we stand for and what we're about. Really, with that of being consumers, we've been there, done that, right? With buying products, not just magazines, but in particular magazines. The gun can't work better than the magazine works, and
Yeah.
so having the idea that a magazine is disposable to me is, insane idea. And so, yeah, what we try and produce today is something that you can count on for generations.
Heck yeah. And they should definitely go back and listen to the episode because you go into some detail about your background and the things that you've put up, like gone through to make sure these products are amazing. And I think it shows. I think it shows with the people that want to work with you, the people who are running your products, and I think it's definitely a credit to the efforts. So let's go ahead without further ado, spin this wheel. And thank you, DJ Play Nice, for posting the link in the live chat for the previous episode and appearance of our guy, Jeremy from X Tech. So the wheel is spinning, and we're going to find out who's going to win these magazines. Refrigerator Q. Congratulations, brother. I think you were in the live chat. I don't know if you're still here, man, but Fridge, I'm very happy for you. I don't know what you're running, but if you're running a Glock mag, you're probably going to want to wait on those. But, um, dude, I'm a little bit jealous. Oh, only a little bit jealous. So
I'll tell you what, if he's got Glocks, just for you for this show, hit me up. We'll not post stuff on social. We'll give you some options that don't exist today. So work. So
you see, and that's the magic of working with Jeremy, right? Like he's willing to break the rules. I see you, dude.
hey,
And
I make them, I break them, right? So it works the same.
dude, hold on, and yeah, I guess he's here. Strap House Custom. So I gotta play his audio now, and you're gonna have to sit through it with me because that's kind of like the rules. Give me just a second. Let me play it over here.
Yo, Aaron, it's Refrigerator, owner of Strap House Customs LLC, Gunsmith and FFL. Been listening to your podcast for about 2, 3 years now. Can't remember exactly when I started, but I've enjoyed it, thoroughly enjoyed it. Um, the thing that drew me to your podcast from the very beginning were the specific guests that you had. At that particular time, it definitely seemed like there was a focus on the African American gun community, the two-way community. But I understand the growth of the podcast and the need for diversity within your guests, and I've come to enjoy it. Definitely, some of my favorite episodes were the episodes with Kevin Dixie, the episodes with Ken Scott. Um, for one, those two episodes, especially the Kevin Dixie episode, kind of helped in my research when I was trying to find out more about Kevin Dixie and his training line.
All right. So that's Fridge's submission. Congratulations, dude. Apparently, according to him, he's a M&P guy. So those mags are easily
Sweet.
available. And congratulations, dude. I think you guys also make AK mags and whatnot. I don't know if he's running AK, but dude, brother, Jeremy, thank you so much for coming on the show. Again, sharing your heart, sharing what you guys have been working on. And of course, I'm excited for people to see those Glock mags going forward because I'm personally excited. That's what I'm excited for. So,
It's
man,
gonna be fun, man. I just approved all the packaging today, so
heck yeah,
step
brother.
in that. So
Heck
yeah,
yeah,
shout out
brother.
to Kevin, awesome dude. I think he represents, he's been around for a long time.
Yeah,
Represents the community really well. I think honestly, despite I don't care what bucket you want to put him in, he's one of the most well-spoken 2A advocates there is. Big fan.
yeah. I will 100% second that, third that, fourth, whatever I need to do. That man is eloquent, and when he pulls up to an event and he's dressed nice, I'm just like, oh, I'm wearing a hoodie. Come on, bro, you're making us look bad.
I know. I need him to do
Pace
some like
yourself.
voiceovers on my videos or something. He's got that voice. He's
Oh,
not just a voice for radio. He's a good looking man too, but
heck
he's
yeah,
got a voice. The man's got a voice.
definitely,
All right, guys.
definitely. All right, brother. Thanks so much. Peace, bro.
You're welcome.
Oh shoot, I just kicked out Tony. So hopefully Tony comes back. But while we're here, let me take Fridge out of the pool. Um, oh, Tony's back. I'm sorry, Tony.
Oh, all right. Let me get up in your butt. One, how dare you say Kevin Dixie's an elephant?
I said eloquent. I
He's
said
well.
eloquent.
How dare you, sir? We and two, it's crazy that the gentleman actually conflated me with Kevin Dixie when he said well spoken and handsome. I understand people often confuse us, and I'm going to laugh at Fridge because he obviously used his formal name when he called in and called himself Refrigerator instead of just Fridge. So that's hi, it's Refrigerator. I'm like, wow, he used his formal name.
Yeah,
Oh, dude,
I
it
don't
was
think
really.
he. I'm not sure if he knew that was going to get played. So I think he might have given it 2 or 3 takes if that was the case. But
Uh,
uh,
Dude, I met Fridge at Train and Learn, and he
mhm.
introduced, hey, how you doing? I'm Fridge, and I'm like, what's your real name, dude? I ain't calling you Fridge.
I don't know if
I just not.
I know his name. Is it? No, I know his name. It's yeah, I got it.
Okay. So I'm like, I'm not calling you Fridge. But
Listen,
yeah, I
listen.
wanted to show you something real quick since we have no idea. I mean, unless you have somewhere you want the conversation to go, I got a new
Well,
ammo.
show me what you
Go ahead.
got. Show me what you got. The only other
So,
thing, black belt.
so it's Black Belt is an ammo company out of PA, and this is their 45, and it's called Jersey Devil. They have a whole line called Jersey Devil. If you look at it, it's 201 grains, 975 feet per second. Now, New Jersey people somehow think we're not supposed to have hollow point ammo. they wrote the law to be confusing. Many law enforcement officers doesn't know we can't have hollow points. So what he developed was pretty much a hollow point with a pretty much BB or whatnot in the end of it. So it lightens up the round. So he gave me some 45, some 9, 38, 357, and maybe even a couple tens. Nope, 9, 357, 38, 45. And I'm going to be testing this out because one of the rangers gave me a ballistic gummy bear made out of ballistic gel. So we're going to film blasting through this ballistic dummy with this ammo to see if it feeds. The range I work with, We Shoot, has a lot of rental guns. So we're probably going to get something cool, rental gun, and run it through. That's Mr. Refrigerator. Yes, of course, obviously. This formal government name, Mr. Refrigerator.
Yeah, but so you're actually
Nice
shooting
guy, man.
some
Wonderful.
dummies?
So we have a gummy bear,
A gummy bear.
a ballistic gummy bear.
A ballistic.
Is this
What are
it?
you doing?
Ah, woo!
Are you
Let me
kidding
see
me,
if I
bro?
can grab it.
You're kidding me.
It's
All right.
right here beside me. I mean, huh? And the bottom of the box is open, so it came out. But here we go. A ballistic gummy bear.
What the heck? So that's like ballistic gel in the shape of a
Yes.
gummy bear.
Yep. I'm
Hold on.
getting
I'm
the
gonna
size
give you the
mixed
screen.
up.
I'm gonna give you the screen. Here you go.
Yep. A ballistic gummy bear. So it's not that thick. So obviously, I'm going to have to shoot it on the end so we can get some inches of penetration there.
Gotcha.
They have these for sale at We Shoot, and we're going to get them out and shoot them. I want to check out to see if this ammo feeds, right? Because this, again, the range rents 1911s,
Hmm.
they rent 45s. So, and he gave me a few boxes. So what I'm going to do is probably grab a 1911, maybe if they have a USP 45 expert, because I want the guns to look cool too, to give you some video content. But also, again, in Jersey. Oh, and I'll probably put it in the carry gun. What is it, a Glock 30, if they have one? That's the carry 45 from Glock. If you
Hmm.
got your Glock decoder rings out, and I want to shoot it. I want to make sure it works. People have to know their stuff works.
Sorry,
Come on,
that
bro.
Glock joke. That Glock joke just kind of hit me a little late, and it hit me hard.
You know how hard it is, man. Sometimes, like, what's a Glock 34? All right, that's a 9 millimeter with the long barrel. All right, what's a Glock 17L? Obviously, 9 millimeter, long 6-inch barrel. All right, what's the Glock 45 gaps called? What? Yeah, the 45 gaps. Which ones are they? I think it's like a 36 and uh 31. Oh, you just guessing now. I'm like, which ones are the Glock 357 SIGs? Uh-huh. Make it easy. Glock 20, the 22 caliber Glock. Which one is that?
Oh, that's the 44.
Uh-huh. But it's like Glock decoder ring. Gotta know it.
Yeah, you got to have like a whole like card match everything up. No, but that's awesome. I'm
Well,
loving the fact that you're getting more into content even after all these years.
it's my content. Listen, I'm one take Tony. I
Yeah,
don't edit my podcasts. I put it out like you get it. And with the pauses and everything, if you want to get through my freaking podcast fast, listen to it at 1.75 speed.
two x,
That'll take.
2x all day.
All
That's
right,
me.
2x.
I'm a maniac.
It's really hard listening to stuff on 2x and then trying to talk to people regularly. It's like, come on, man, speed up, talk to me. Come on.
You're right.
I got all day. What's with all
Yeah.
these damn arms?
You know what was really bad is when they started active, like with phones, like WhatsApp and whatever, when you could record
Mhm.
voice memos and you can play them back at like a faster speed, and now you expect regular conversations to be as fast as lightning. You're like,
Now all of us are speaking like movies from the 1930s and 40s. Hey, look at here, guy. Let me tell you one thing. You don't talk to me like that. That's the way I talk to you.
Ching,
Yeah, Shane. Calm down, calm down. Everybody
dude,
on that cocaine. Uh, so
gummy dummy. Tempted to get some of those. Yeah, I'd be tempted too, buddy. Hey,
I,
let's.
I'm just looking at it like it's fun, dude. They have turkeys, they have
They
dinosaurs,
have dinosaur
they have
nuggies.
a T-Rex, they have a T-Rex. So again, it's fun for the range, bro. We all watch it, and truthfully, if you want to melt it down and just give yourself a freaking gelatin block, you can. It's gelatin. All you do is melt it down and stick in the refrigerator.
Right.
They also have a bunny. So the range was like, Tony, can you make a video about these gummies? We even got a bunny. I'm like, you want the largest pound for pound gun bunny in America to do a ballistic bunny? Yeah, no problem.
Tony.
Marketing, man. I made up my own name and I'm running with it.
Yeah, you're going insane, and I love it. So I do want to make sure that we get through a few more of these names on the giveaway because we
Okay,
still have.
let's
I
go.
want to give you guys a next belt. I got a next belt, custom next belt. It's got my logo on it. Sorry, you're gonna have to deal with that.
Nice.
And then we have. I think I'm gonna give away one more cleaning kit. If you guys want, you tell me if you want another cleaning kit for those who haven't won yet. And then we have the this thing's heavy because it's real. Um, this is pistol
Hornady.
safe from Hornady Security, straight from them. They sent it over, and I want to give it to you. I get nothing from this. I just want to give you guys stuff because there's nothing better than giving away OPS, other people's stuff. So, yeah, there's a
Do it
custom
all the
neck belt.
time. Do it all the time. It's awesome.
Oh yeah, it's great. So and if you guys want this kind of thing to kind of go on more, just continue to support the show, and boost us up and get us out there and hit share, and we'll be able to get more sponsors and vendors who want to be part of this because it's the coolest thing to be part of. You know what I mean? So not to strong arm you guys, but keep doing what you've been doing. You know what I mean? It's true. I'm just cheap. So let's spin that wheel. And who could it possibly be? Oh, oh, he's here right now. Oh, he's here right now. I see him. So for you, I didn't even say what we're giving away. Tony, what are we giving away?
The Hornady Volt.
We're gonna give away the pistol safe. Hey,
Hmm.
congratulations to the guy who called in imitating Randy Savage.
Nice.
You just won the pistol safe. Where's your audio? And I just found out how to boost the sound, so it's gonna be nice and loud.
Yeah, episode 100 of the Costly Pod. Yeah, like a cup of coffee in the morning. Yeah, took a long time to get to the top, but as always, the cream will rise to the top. Wow. Yeah, man, dig it.
Yeah. So
DJ Play Nice.
no. Though
No.
I hope he wins because his voice is amazing. Like it's like kind of
Yeah.
scary. Like, wait, is this AI? Like, did you hire a voice
Bruh.
actor?
Understand, I met him in person, right?
Yeah.
Turns around, I'm like, this dude's voice, bro. Coolest guy ever, man. Coolest guy.
Dude. I don't know what we did to deserve him, but congratulations, Randy Savage. If you want me to announce your name, I'll share who did the fun voice acting. DJ Play Night says I want a Slim Jim now.
Nice. But I love it because I can see it. Remember, like he just point up, rise to the top. Dude, he was such a great over actor, man. It was
he's
awesome.
he's a showman. Um,
Yeah, man.
but let's run it again because I'm gonna give away for this next one. Should I give away the next belt or another cleaning kit? Tell me.
Give away your clean kit.
Okay, we'll do the cleaning kit next. Okay, it's rolling.
Not
Hey,
like us.
all
Not like
right.
us.
Codename Ebes is the winner of the cleaning kit. I don't think he's still here, but congratulations, buddy. You just won an Otis cleaning kit. And I'm going to play the audio for that for your submission.
Man, what do I like about Costly Conversations, aka Gun Club Radio? Man, where do I start? First and foremost, I do like the diversity in the sense of you bringing on people who are
Diversity shoot
entrepreneurs,
what?
people from different perspectives, different backgrounds, be it military, people who, are used to teaching, competing in all walks of life. I think that's one of the greatest benefits to your platform that we get to see one, how diverse the gun community is in thought and in process, and listen and hear perspectives from many people that we don't always get to hear from. And it's all stationed in one place as well. That's probably the thing I love most about Costly Conversations. And you're not shy to, ask the tough questions sometimes.
All right, brother. Thank you so much for the kind words, and for everybody who submitted. Because the challenge for this giveaway was, hey, just let us know what you like about the show. If you hate something about the show, let me know. I don't care. Just submit something. Let us know what you're thinking. And thankfully, um, the people who submitted, they had really kind things to say, and I'm glad that you guys see the value in what we do. And yeah, yeah, I love that. So here's what we're gonna do, right? Thank you, Eves. You won that cleaning kit. We have the next belt to give away. I kind of want to give away another pistol safe, not the big one, but one from Snap Safe, something you could keep. You can travel with in like in an airplane, or if you had to store a singular pistol in it, you could do that. So I'm gonna give one of those away. That wasn't in the
Oh,
initial giveaway, but I want to give one away.
let me tell you something. If you're going to travel in your vehicle with a gun and a pistol safe, mount it to the vehicle. Do not depend on that cable. We had an incident at a training class I was at, and people broke into various cars because we were hosting a class,
Hmm.
and they cut the cables on some people's
Oh
gun
yeah,
safes.
oh yeah,
So mount it, mount it, mount it.
dude. Hold on, I'm gonna grab one from the closet. This is I'm gonna give you the screen. Give me a second.
All right. So let me tell you about the second is for everyone diversity shoot and how awesome it is. It brings people together from all backgrounds into our event to introduce them to firearms and the firearms community. So we try to put our best foot forward by having all of my guys there from different backgrounds. And that was the diversity this last gentleman talked about. It's not the fact that people are different colors, it's the fact that we have different perspectives because we came from different areas. Uh, Black, white, Asian, Hispanic, it makes no really difference, but we just have a bunch of different people. We didn't plan it. We didn't try to put together a super team of people of different backgrounds. We had volunteers that wanted to make a difference, and that's how we got the people together that allows us to run these events every 2 weeks. So we have a diversity shoot coming up on Thursday of this week and another one on August 8th, and
Dude,
then one at the end of the month. So we're busy as hell because there are people just like you trying to make a difference out there.
dude.
And you're back.
I'm back. But guys, please, for those who are here, for those who are not here, wherever you are, make sure you are supporting guys like Tony because reality is it's hard to do what he does. To get out there every single time and to do this thing, that's hard. So make sure we're supporting, whether it's financially, throwing him $5 to put a little gas in his car so he can buy a cheeseburger after the training event is done, or making sure that you share every single thing that he posts just to make sure the algorithm is defeated. I'm here for that. So up next, this is a what is this? Um, SnapSafe. This is another company from Hornady Security Company. That's like their budget line. Um, and I just like shoot. I just want to keep giving stuff away, so I'm gonna give away one of these. That wasn't in the giveaway, but here we go. Let's see. Uh, Jordan, congratulations, man. Here we go. Jordan just won that snap save. So, and somebody was asking if we're going to the GOA event. Yeah, he's going to be speaking. I'm not going to be there. I just can't stand to be around him. Congratulations, Jordan. I'm going to play his audio and we'll go from there.
What up, Aaron? I really liked the episode with Michaela shooting from the girl who shoots from the wheelchair. That's been, I followed her on Instagram after that
Wait a
episode.
minute.
It's been one of the best
Wait.
follows.
Didn't he already win something?
Or did he just appreciate? I don't think it was Jordan.
Oh no, this is somebody else. That was somebody else. Okay, I've
They
heard
just
this so many
appreciate the
times.
same show.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Tripping.
What up, Aaron? I really liked the episode with Michaela shooting from the girl who shoots from the wheelchair. That's been, I followed her on Instagram after that episode. It's been one of the best follows, just like thinking about like accessibility of shooting. How she like uses one hand to slow her wheelchair or put the brakes on the other side and shoot. Like I'd never even considered that. And I've seen other people shoot from wheelchairs, but that she shares that stuff is pretty cool. And I think she shares more of it because she was paralyzed, after, like, later in life. She wasn't born having to ride in a wheelchair. So it's just kind of interesting. But I never would have thought of any of that had it not been for your episode. So thank you.
Dude. Jordan, thank
That's
you so
awesome,
much
man.
for sharing that. And obviously, ours was the first interview that Michaela had ever done. And it took her a while to decide to do it. And it was really hard because she has to coordinate with her family and everything. So I just want to give her all the love and respect and appreciation for working up the courage to come on a show. Because like 2 years ago, she wasn't even in the gun world. I don't think it was 2 years ago. And now she's competing. And she's just a complete rock star. And even as somebody who's not typical in the space, and it would be hard for her to achieve the levels of stardom. Like say Lena Michelik's one of the people who's actually mentored and trained her in the past. Um, like she's not letting anything hold her back. Like any of the, oh, this is typical, this is what's, like, none of that is holding her back. And she's not hungry for fame or any of those things. As I've talked to her, and she's like, I don't care about any of that. I just want to shoot and kind of show people what I'm learning. And that makes me so happy. And I'm glad that guys like yourself are following her story and supporting her in that and encouraging her to keep doing that. So, Michaela, much love and respect to you. And Jordan, congratulations on the snap safe. And what are we doing? The next belt next? I guess that's the last thing.
Yeah. Oh, that's the last thing? All right, cool. I'll hang around for that then, and then I'll get out of here.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you going overtime with me. A whole 22 minutes. Apologies, bro. Um, here we go. Let's roll it one more time. And I'm hoping it's DJ. I'm hoping it's DJ Play Nice.
You know nobody can see, right? You can make it DJ play nice.
He's getting some. So the winner is Landon. Um, Congratulations, Landon, on the dub, on winning that custom next belt. And let's play your audio. And that's not the audio. Let's hold on. Oh, darn it. I don't think I. Oh, here it is.
Podcasts. I've only gotten to listen to two so far. I can't remember the first one I listened to.
Audio cut out. Anyways, so
Hold on, hold on. I think I got the audio over here. Yeah, my favorite was the one with Tony Simon on it. That was the greatest episode ever. You should really have that guy on more. This is Landon. This is definitely not Tony. And thanks for the win. All right, I hope you guys heard that.
dude, you're such a nerd.
Thank you, Landon. Thank you, Landon.
Dude. So DJ Play Nice got off easy. We don't have to hear his majestic voice. Although I'm tempted to play like 5 seconds of it so people know what I'm talking about. So
Oh yeah.
But Tony's gotta talk me into it. So
do it.
oh, okay.
Not a hair on your ass. Not a hair on your ass.
Okay. is it? Where is it? So here.
Aaron, congratulations on your landmark 100. I know and I've seen the amount of effort, time, energy, motivation, and dedication it takes to hit the high numbers. And you've done a lot of things that deserve high praise. Thank you
Thank
for
you,
all
big
that
boy.
extra push because that has made a lot of listeners sit up, take notice, and expand their worldview, their community view, and their street view. You've consistently given me good reason to recommend everything that you're doing on YouTube and elsewhere. You get good reviews from them, and believe me, they are an audience that needs to hear what your guests have to say. I look forward to more of what you have to say. Keep up the good works, man. Respect.
Respect, bro. Special
Wow.
thank you.
Listen to that, bro.
Special
Listen to that.
thank you.
If he doesn't do voiceover work, bro.
Um, I don't understand that, but it was amazing. The kind words, obviously, tremendous. You can't let the all the kind words, right? Um,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and they could have said anything. They could be like, "Hey, I just like the show," but a lot of people said specifically kind words about the work that we're doing, the work that you've helped with. I mean, you've been on the show at least twice, I think 3 times at this point. I could be
Yeah.
tripping, but thank you.
I like what you do, bro. And I think it's very important to promote those that are in this sphere to grow it. To grow it. That's what you're doing. Um, Also, I like the fact that you use other people's stuff to hijack people to say good things about you. I like that. I see what you're doing there. That's
Hey,
pretty class
got to stroke my ego somehow.
act. But obviously, I'm joking. No, I'm not. So I'm going to do the same thing for my 100th episode. You just wait.
Do it.
Because I think I'm at 98 or 99 now. I really don't know. I think it's important that we have all the voices to get people out, to show different things. You have a really diverse panel, and I think that's important. And again, that's that real diversity, not just hey, we're going to have a lot of black people on, which is great because that's awesome too. Um, and I'll go ahead and put it out there since I brought it up. When some podcasts, when some creators, when some companies say they're going to have black people on as guests, blacks as sponsored shooters, blacks. They look like they're putting together a '90s supergroup. I need a black, I need an Asian, I need a
Yep.
Hispanic, and they get one of each and they're done. And they say, "See, we put together, Avengers Assemble."
Hmm.
But then they got 30 other white males working in the back. It's like, bro, you didn't really break it up. How's this? Color is one thing. What you're doing, you have the young lady in the wheelchair, you have a dude that's talking about patent infringements, you have me on, you have Kev on, you have just different people from different backgrounds. And it's not just the color of their skin or even what they do in the industry. It's all different, but it's opening people up to this industry and the different aspects that some people never thought of. Who thinks of a magazine manufacturer? How about the guy that creates the belt, next belt? You didn't have them on, but what do you call that?
Illegal carry. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You, I'm like, cool. When does he get to speak? When does he get to
Yeah.
get out? I mean, we had. I mean, truthfully, I might get your contact information so we can have him on our podcast because we had, next level on. There's things behind things, and we should learn about them and know about them.
Yeah.
Not only the product, but the people, because this industry is small. People bounce around. He might work for this company this year. 2 years from now, he can work for another company still in the industry. And if you're a creator, you have a way to talk to these people when you see them. Hey, I
Hmm.
saw you on Costas Podcast, conversation, excuse me. But I saw you there and I commented, oh, cool. Yeah, I really like being. Now you're talking.
Hmm.
You don't just go up to people and just say, "Hey, give me free stuff." You actually, it's called building a relationship, just like you meet new people and talk to people.
Yeah.
So I think you're doing a great thing, and I think you're introducing lots of people to others and allowing and facilitating networking. So thank you. I'm glad, I'm honored to actually be on your 100th show. Hopefully, I'm around for your 1,000th show or whatever other iteration that you run this in. I mean, you're not up to us yet. I think we're on episode 536. of the Gun and Gear Review podcast. We'll be playing tomorrow. We'll be doing tomorrow. But hey, listen, you'll get there, little guy, and I really have faith in you. I mean,
You're
I'm such a
hilarious.
jerk.
You're hilarious. Well, thank you. I should say thank you for being here. You could have been anywhere. I said, hey, can you were like, hey, do you need an hour? And I was like, can I get two? We're almost at an hour and 2 hours and 30 minutes. So thank you for your time. Thank you for everybody who's listened. I'm not quite done yet. I want to talk about the direction of this thing going forward, but I do want to let Tony know that he is free to go enjoy his evening. Thank you for being here. And I hope that everybody goes and supports the heck out of what he's doing.
All right. Yeah. Catch me at diversityshoot.com. You can see me on X at the second for everyone on X. Second, the number two, four, number four, everyone. I'm on X. I'm also on the second is for everyone on Facebook. Simon Says Train on Facebook and Tony Simon on Facebook. And I'm also on IG as Simon Says Train. And as I said, I'm on a Firearms Radio Network on the Firearms Insiders Gun and Gear Review podcast. I'll be there tomorrow live on the Gun and Gear Review podcast channel. Podcast, yeah, Gun and Gear Review podcast channel on YouTube, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Can't wait to see you. We're going to be talking about the 380 Yeet Cannon, and we're also going to be talking about the Walther WMP SD that's just coming out. Plus, we're doing the optic review. So, you see me? Cool. You want to support us? Please do follow us on those things. And again, thank you very much for allowing me to be on this groundbreaking, awesome episode.
Thank you, Tony. And for those who are, um, I guess, still here, and we're not ending just yet, but obviously wanted to give Tony a chance to, say goodbye, let people know where he could find them. And we're also going to put the QR code on the screen for those who are watching on video formats. And, if they want to go over to the locals community, support what we're doing, either by just making an account and following us there. It's easy to actually follow some of the exclusive content. Or if you want to support $5 a month or more, however much you want to support with, that's a great way to support the content so we can do bigger and better things, go to more events, talk to more people, create more context. So you can talk to Sig directly. So you can sit down with people who are important in the space directly. And that's important to me. And I think it's important to you. That said, can I talk about Costly Conversations podcast? You're watching this currently on either the Gun Club Radio podcast or the Gun Club Radio YouTube channel. That's kind of the direction that we want to go, I guess, going forward. I'm not sure if we're going to keep the same branding on the channel, if we're going to call this the interview show Casa Conversations, or if we're going to call it Gun Club Radio Interviews or something kind of lame like that. But I think we might just keep it at Casa Conversations just because it's just so catchy and it's so important to me. And I think it's important to some of you. But um, we do want to integrate a show. I was talking with Nina De La Flores, and she actually agreed to come on for certain episodes. So I'm going to try to do as much as I can and make sure she's on as many as possible. Destiny of Nina De La Flores. You guys should check her out. She's awesome. And we're going to do kind of a targeted educational show of sorts where we talk about certain subjects such as like, hey, what are some of the things that you need when you buy a gun? Do you need the gun? Do you need the holster? Do you need the belt? And these are some of the recommendations. We're going to do kind of like what we did today, where we bring on some of the guys who are making some of this stuff and said, um, like, hey, let's say we do an episode on beltless carry options. We bring on leisure carry. We bring on Filster. We bring on who are some of the other options? The guy who makes the comfort concealment belt, or whoever makes the comfort concealment belt, the guys who make the clips for the fabric, the ulti clips, because the fabric clips. Like, I want to bring those people on and let them share their vision, their idea, their passion behind the products that they make, and then let you, the viewer or listener, decide whether or not it's worth your time. Um, maybe there's some exposure there. Maybe there's some education there. Also want to, because of Destiny's or Nina De La Flores' training background, she's trained over 2,000 women. I think we'll be able to talk a little bit about training stuff and make sure that we're producing a show probably like every other week or at least once a month that you can send to people in your life who are kind of new to this, and you can say like, hey, listen, like, you've been asking me a lot of questions. This is something that can really help you. And I think just the way we can do it, it can also help you too. So if that's something you're interested in, please make sure you like, you share all this stuff. I know it's kind of hard to share a 2.5 hour podcast. Like that's hard to share, but make sure if you see a clip that you like, that you share it out as much as you can, because we want to make sure that we're getting out there, that YouTube is treating us right, that the podcasting side is treating us right, and that not that we just run up the numbers, because that's important, but that's not the thing. But we want to have impact, like we talked about that earlier. What gun podcasts, gun websites ask, like, what it was, define making it. And to me, every single time I heard you guys talk about some of the shows that we've done, um, that you look back and you're like, man, that changed the way I do things. Fridge was like, hey, I went and I was able to go to an event, a training event, because I listened to this podcast with Kevin Dixie, and it confirmed to me what I thought maybe I already knew, and I was able to pull the trigger, spend the money, book the hotel, get the flight, and spend a weekend over in, I guess it was, um, where was it before? Now it's in Atlanta. Um, but those are decisions that are hard to make when you don't have that point of contact, right? So I'm just hoping that we can be a part of your life in a greater way going forward. Not just having these interesting conversations, but sharing all the stuff that I've gotten an amazing opportunity to learn over the past 3.5, almost 4 years, right? And I hope I can share that with you. Will you let me share that with you? With your permission, I will. Somebody in the live chat said gaming channel. Maybe, bro, you're telling all my secrets. Stop. So if you guys like gaming, I think we're gonna start doing some a little bit. Like I know not everybody's into it, but um, let me know if that's what you guys want. Because if that's what you want, we will definitely do it. And if it's not, we'll still do it. We just won't tell you about it. All right, guys. I don't think there's anything else I can share. I'm just eternally grateful, so grateful for all the people who have showed up. There's a bunch of people in the live chat commenting back and forth. There's a bunch of amazing manufacturers who came through and made sure to talk about some of the stuff that we were giving away. And I'm just super grateful. Thanks, Tony, for coming on. And of course, thank you to you, whether it's your first episode or if this is like, episode 100 for you. Appreciate that. And I think that's all I got. Keep it costly.